Kapow! Pow, pow, pow. Alright, let's try this. Let's do this. Live. Let's see if that works. This has been hell, trying to get it to work. Okay, yeah, we're live. Hey, everybody. Jeremy Adrian here. What up? Long time no see. Yeah, we're doing a live stream tonight. I didn't want to do it because there's so much going on in terms of work and everything, but I was like, screw it. I think it's about time we have a live stream, catch up with everyone, play some MMOs, and we'll talk about everything. I mean, provided if you guys are still around. Yeah, so welcome back to the channel. From the title and everything, I'm back on Final Fantasy XIV. Have been, actually, for the last couple of weeks, maybe. And I've been slowly chipping away in terms of where I left off and everything. So I've got a lot to talk about in terms of the stream and everything. And hey, I do see people in chat, actually. Let's see. Oh man, I gotta zoom into the chat. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. We got Bam in chat. It says yeet yeet. What up, Bam? How you doing? We have Lady Irene as well. Hello, Lady Irene. Good to see you. Says I knew this was going to shock me. In what way? How are you shocked? And we got Rudy in chat as well. He says, at last I made it into the live stream. Welcome, Rudy. Good to see all of you. Thanks so much for being here. Let's play, shall we? So just for those that haven't been around since my Final Fantasy XIV review, which was almost 2 years ago now, when I was reviewing the base game, which was A Realm Reborn. This is my main review character, Halfwin Grim, who I've played with my sister for the last, God, I don't know. Well, I started the entire review with my sister. I was doing it with her. So this was the character that stayed, and when I came back maybe a couple of months ago, I got the new Samurai job, which is my main class right now. I swapped from a Lancer or a Dragoon. So, yeah, it's been pretty crazy. Where am I in Final Fantasy XIV? Where am I? What have I done? A whole lot of nothing. For those that do play Final Fantasy XIV, you guys know there's already 2 expansions out, right? We have Heavensward. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's always the case with me. I can't pronounce crap. It's either Heavensward or Heavensward. So that was the first expansion that I'm still not yet at. And the other one is Stormblood, which was 2017's expansion. And this June, we're getting Shadowbringers. That's the 3rd expansion. So where am I? I am on my way from the base game, the completion of the main story in the base game, making my way towards the first expansion, Heavensward. And I'm sure those of you that play know there is a very long requirement or requisite that you need to complete before you can even get to the first expansion, and it's a series of main story MSQs, main story quests, that involves a lot of back and forth and a lot of filler story, if I may, and I have a separate video coming out about my experience in this prerequisites, which is, I believe, called 2.1 all the way to 2.5, which is what I'm doing. So I think at around 2.4-ish right now, so we'll go ahead and do some of that. Alright, let's check in chat real quick and see what you guys are saying. Okay, my chat thing is now working. I can see you guys large and I can read it out. Let's see, we got Daniel in chat. Hello, Daniel. Good to see you, man. He says, I am level 30. Should I go back to Final Fantasy XIV? I don't see why not. I mean, although there is the subscription factor to think about. I mean, if you have some time to commit and you want to play Final Fantasy in the long run, maybe like a month stretch, then sure. Level 30. See, my sister has friends who just joined her recently, and I think right now in Final Fantasy, in some servers, when you create a new character, you have this world boost, which gives you a shit ton of XP, and you'll get to like level 60 in no time. So it could be better just re-rolling a character. Within like a week, you'll be at max cap, and the store's kind of refreshed for you. I don't have that. You see this little flower power icon I have in my nameplate? That means I'm a returning player, but I don't get any buffs or boosts. Wait, that's the heat of the battle thing I see here, which is XP. Whatever, really. I mean, I also purchased the Shadowbringers pre-order, so that means I got an earring that's giving me 30% increased battle XP. But doing all these MSQs hasn't really given me a ton of XP. So in terms of story right now, I believe for those of us that do play Final Fantasy XIV, where I'm at, I've been working for the Scions, of course, which is our main companion kind of story thing going on. And we have just announced ourselves public because we just saved, you know, the Eorzea from the Garlean Empire. That's my memory of reviewing the base game. And after that, the Scions was just our faction, the player faction with all these other heroes. We needed to go public, and that's what we've done. We've created, we've come out publicly, and we are our own thing now. And right now, we're kind of trying to solve an issue with Ishgard. I think that's how it leads up to the first expansion. So here I am, and I guess starting the Ishgard stuff. So here's House Fortamp's Guard. These are the French-influenced people in Final Fantasy XIV, so let's go ahead and talk to them. We've been expecting you. Pray, take your ease inside. There's a Pray meme going on with Final Fantasy. Let's go inside and get some story done. Let's check in the chat some more. Lady Adrian says, it was silent, then poof, you were there. Yeah, I usually have like an intro video. Oh, here we go, cutscene. Get back to you guys in a sec. Yeah, I'm wearing the Cloud outfit that I got for... Hang on, is this going to be voiced?
Have faith, my friend. You need only state your case with...
Oh, I accidentally pressed forward. Yeah, that's the main guy that started the a side faction within the Scions. And, ooh, nice armor. These Ishgardians?
Commander Leveilleur, it is both an honor and a pleasure to meet you. I am Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights.
I like that name, Emmerich.
Alphino Leveilleur, at your service.
That name, not so much.
Your reputation precedes you, Sir Emmerich. I think we will find that we have much in common.
Speaking of reputations, yours towers over us all. Does it not?
Of course. I'm the Warrior of Light.
It does indeed, Lord Commander.
I am not too proud to admit that I have followed your activities with an interest bordering on fascination. Full glad was I to learn that you would be joining us.
It's a really nice voice.
Shall we begin?
Yes, let's begin. I want to know what's going on. Is this the start of going to Ishgard? I hear there's dragons, and I know there's gonna be flying.
You know full well that the Garleans will return in force ere long. What is more, we have yet to achieve a lasting victory over the primal menace. The beast tribes continue to summon their gods, and each incarnation is stronger than the last.
Which is true. I've been doing a lot of primal fighting.
Ishgard is not immune to these threats. I must reiterate that it would behoove your nation to rejoin the Eorzean alliance.
Ah, yes, we're recruiting Ishgard.
Once again, I must respectfully disagree.
Why?
On what grounds?
Despite their presence in Kurthus, the Ixal do not concern us. Their territorial claims pertain to Gridanian lands, and it is the people of Gridania whom they harry. Consequently, the Holy See judges this to be a Gridanian affair, and Ishgard does not intervene in the internal affairs of other nations. Even were that not the case, our forces are wholly committed to the Dravanian conflict. We have not the knights to spare. As for the Garleans, we are not ignorant of history. We have observed the rise and expansion of the Empire, and we agree that it is only a matter of time before they resume their campaign in Eorzea.
Then surely it would be in our best interests to present a united front.
Mayhap one day, but not yet. Gaius van Belsar is dead, and the legion of conscripts he left behind lacks the will to fight. We think it highly unlikely that they will emerge from behind the walls of their castra for some time.
Forgive me, but if Ishgard's position has not changed, why did you agree to this meeting?
It was not only as a representative of Ishgard that I came here.
Pardon?
Pardon?
It is not within my power to change Ishgardian policy, regardless of my personal feelings. There is, however, one area in which I may exert a measure of influence. Concerns have been raised over the supplies House Forton has offered to Revenant's toll. These have led to calls for restrictions on the provision of aid to foreign powers.
I've been pronouncing House Forton wrongly all this time.
I can ensure that the shipments continue unabated.
Sir Emmerich, we would be in your debt.
No, you would not. For I require something in exchange.
My services, hands down, I know it. You want me to fight your wars? Go on, say it.
Of late, there has been a flurry of Dravanian activity, the purpose of which was not immediately
What was
clear.
that? Benzu, thank you.
However, our astrologians have since observed alarming changes in the heavens. The dragon star waxes unnaturally bright, and there are whispers that it portends the resurrection of Midgard Sorma.
Sounds like a dragon. Midgard Sommer.
The fallen guardian of Silvertear Falls? That's absurd.
Full many times have I gazed upon the dragon's corpse
It is a
still
dragon.
wound around the Agrius, and wondered how different our world might be if it yet lived to plague the skies. I do not know, and I do not wish to know, nor does any son of Ishgard. Yet the mere presence of Dravanian forces is not sufficient grounds to send knights to Mordona, whatever our astrologians say. As I told you before, we have not the forces to spare.
But we do. So you will intervene on our behalf if we agree to watch over the Keeper of the Lake.
I knew it.
Do you accept these terms?
Yes. Oh, come on.
I do. I will see that you are kept abreast of any developments. I regret that we could not come to a similar agreement on other matters, but I understand that you are not at liberty to make such decisions. Nevertheless, I hope that what we have accomplished here today will serve to demonstrate to your countrymen that we can work together towards a common goal. Mayhap one day we shall look back on this moment as the first step towards a united Eorzea.
Mayhap we shall, Commander.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
What is the meaning of this?
Classic line.
The caravan, my lord. It's been attacked.
Right, let's go.
It was Iceheart, my lord.
Iceheart. Oh yeah, there's this.
What? By the Fury!
We've been chasing this thing.
All our precautions were for naught?
What was that? 5 minutes of a cutscene, 5 minutes of exposition. This is one of the things that Final Fantasy really kind of drives home. You know, the storytelling aspect of its main story quest. So you're in side quests, you get a lot of that, and it's really easy to get like pulled into the story like that. But on a live stream, you know, I see chat moving, and all I want to do is reply to you guys. So let me just grab some rewards here, and I'll check in chat. Ooh, that looks like a great upgrade for yeah, in case I want to change my jobs down the line. Okay, before we move on, let me just see if there's any more cutscenes here. No, okay. Let's go ahead and check in chat real quick. Sorry guys, long exposition scene there. Rudy says, anyway, I'm planning to play Final Fantasy XIV. What do I need to learn? Do I need to do all the old content from the beginning? Final Fantasy XIV is a little draconian in the sense that you're going to be doing all the main quests anyway. You don't have a choice. If you want to unlock like some dungeons and you want to unlock some other gameplay features, then you got to do the main story. Like most of the dungeons unlocks via the main story quest chain, so you don't have a choice there. Although, if you want to spend the money, Final Fantasy XIV does have these potions that can skip the long grind. I wouldn't call it grind. It's just kind of tedious for existing players if they want to do an alt. But Final Fantasy, you really don't need alt because you can play all jobs on one character. So there are those skipping the main story potions. I don't recommend it if you haven't played before. I just say go create a new character, do everything, unlock everything, because there is a bonus XP boost on some new servers anyway. So that's my thoughts on that. And nothing to learn, just gotta get used to the combat system, which is a little traditional in the sense that everything is on global cooldown. The GCD here is a lot more, well, in comparison to other MMOs, the combat system here is a slower pace in a way because of the GCD, but at higher levels, everything starts to speed up a little bit, so. Okay, what else do we have here? We got Cogs in chat. It says it's pronounced Heaven's Ward. Thank you. He says, I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV for years, so ask away if you have any questions. I will keep that in mind as I make my way throughout the stream. If I've got anything that needs clearing up, I will ask you, but any story things, don't spoil it for me, yeah? We got Jinx. It says level 70. That's the current level cap, right? And we got Shagrath in chat. Hello, Shagrath. Good day to you, sir. He says, I see you're in Heaven's Ward. Fantastic expansion, great atmosphere, locations, and story. See, everybody says that, you know, and I'm looking forward to it. It's just that it's taken me so long to get there, and I'm still not there yet because of the main story quest requirements to get from like 2.1 to 2.5, and then the expansion MSQ starts. So anyway, let me just pick up this stuff. Recent developments have given Alpha not much to consider. Oh, yeah, that's not mainly rewards. Okay, just when we're starting to make progress. And to make matters worse, the caravan they spoke of was bound for Raven's Toll, which is where our new Scion's headquarters is in Mardona. Honestly, I was so inclined. Okay, let's see. Let's speak with Lord. Yeah, this is another name I can't pronounce. Haurchefant? Haurchefant. Lord Har, I'm just going to call him that. And find out what he has learned. Let's go see Lord Har. Lord Har, sorry. That came out wrong. I'm just gonna call him Lord H to prevent any sort of... See, if you guys watch my yesterday's news video, you guys know me and pronouncing doesn't go well, especially with T and H. Like I pronounced Thailand as Thailand with the H in there, and it's supposed to be a silent H. So I just pissed off an entire nation, and now I guess I'm not welcomed in Thailand anymore. Sawadee Cup. Sorry, you guys. All right, let's go find Lord H. All right, let's check in chat some more. We got Daniel saying, no, hang on, I'm way below here. We got Light saying, Amaric, my boy, and Sinjin in chat. Hello, Sinjin says, PV. I wish this game had good PvP. That GCD makes it so clunky, but I've heard good things about the PvE. Yeah, I mean, from my review, the PvE experience is top-notch. I mean, there was nothing about the PvE that made me feel like, except maybe some of the vanilla storylines in the side quests. I'm not talking about the main story quest, which has this this little icon. You usually have like side quests and stuff, which really didn't. It was really traditional theme park MMO. So you've got lots of back and forthing and fetch quests, but I think most MMORPGs in their vanilla core game content will always have that. So that's something you can't skirt around. Otherwise, the main story quest was like you're on a roller coaster and you're just seeing the ride through, and I found that pretty enjoyable. PvP is horrible, says Light21. PvP's top-notch. Raids are the best from any MMO, and I've done a few raids in this MSQ leading up to Heaven's Ward, and those are quite fun, actually. It's really well designed, but the PvP is horrible. I've done PvP once here in Final Fantasy, and I didn't quite like it. So, yeah. Daniel says, what server do you play on? I'm on the Japanese server called Atomos. I'm gonna get screwed here. Atomos. I'm gonna go with that. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I play on the Japanese servers, so because it's better ping. We got Lord Midichlorian says, hello. Good to see you, man. And Shag says, damn, you can't imagine what will happen. You're in for a treat and a long one. And then the incredible Stormblood, which also has top-notch story and events. Yeah, you're making me looking forward. You know, I mean, my sister, who's in the other room, is a huge fan. She's playing Final Fantasy right now. She's playing FF14 right now, and she always says that, you know, good stuff. And I'm like, every day for the last 2 years, when are you coming back to Final Fantasy? When you come back to Final Fantasy? Well, I'm here. Okay, what do we got? It was an ambush with and Ruthless, and this entire little storyline going on here is that, you know, we've set up a new base camp in Raven's Toll, and we've got all kinds of refugees and people who don't like what's going on in their respective areas, you know, from Gridania to Limsa, Lominsa. Can't believe I remembered that. What's the other one? Ul'dah. So we've got all kinds of people coming, and of course there's not enough supplies going around, so these guys here are, you know, sending supplies, but it's getting ambushed by this ice thing. There's this wizard or witch which can control ice or whatever. So this time they've got the caravan. So we're gonna go and inspect the ambush site. Let's do it. Okay, let's go. My samurai, and I've only had a few. I've only played a little bit with the samurai so far. My samurais, what the heck? That is not a mount. Surely that's not a mount. No way. That's a pretty cool mount, man. Look at that. It's a cactus. I mean, recently I shared it on Twitter. Did you guys see the new Final Fantasy, the cat mount, the really chunky monkey cat thing? That pretty cool. So yeah, that's interesting. I don't have a lot of nice mounts. So where were they ambushed? Let's open up the map. From the last time I played, traveling around in Final Fantasy have gone so much better, simply because of the quick travel that you can get through all these aetherite crystals and stuff like that. So I don't have one here. I'm just gonna have to take a chocobo down here and ride the rest of the way. As a returning player, there are lots of things I'm still trying to remember or try and catch up on. And yeah, that one. Okay, while we're writing, let's go on and check and chat some more. Keep the comments coming, guys. What do you guys think of Final Fantasy XIV so far? Those of you that are playing it right now, what do you like about it? What do you don't like about it? And we can discuss that some more. Okay, where are we? We got Nick Squire. He says, "Hey man, hey Nick, what up, man? I've seen you streaming a lot of Breach. How's Breach so far? Do you like Breach?" And we got R Zealous. Hey, he says, "Hey dude, how's the ping from Malaysia?" Pretty good, actually. I don't know if there's a way to check ping. If anybody knows that if there's a way to check ping in Final Fantasy, I get the feeling it's like 80 or less, because we're connecting to the Japanese servers, so it is, it's way better compared to any other MMO, of course, because, you know, compared to a lot of the other ones out there, for us in Southeast Asia, Final Fantasy XIV and World of Warcraft are the only two MMOs that offers oceanic servers, so... or Asian servers, so it's you know, we don't have, there's no ping or lag issues that I've ever encountered in those two games, which is a plus point. And you sort of do expect that from a AAA full subscription MMO. I mean, I would, like, moving forward, if there's a new MMO like Ashes, for example, we know it's going to be a subscription only MMO, and if it doesn't have oceanic servers, I'm not going to be happy with that. Okay, let's check and chat some more. Where are we? Lord McLaurin says, with the Twitch free sub time, I gotta care. Oh yes, that's right. For Twitch Prime people, you do get a subscription with Final Fantasy XIV, right? So that's an interesting thing that Final Fantasy XIV's done, or Square Enix has done, is that they've given subscription and the base game too, I believe, on Twitch Prime. So that's interesting. And only last month I was saying how ESO was one of those MMOs that really has got the whole Twitch thing down, you know, from Twitch drops to sales on Twitch and stuff like that. If ESO could give off like a few DLCs or a chapter once in a while with the Twitch Prime thing, pretty smart move. Start to see combat may turn interesting at endgame. Lord Maker also says, though, now I get no valid service found when I try to log in. Oh shit, what does that mean? No valid service? Is your account gone or something? Or did you log into a wrong region? Because for all the good stuff about Final Fantasy XIV, the bad stuff for me at least, when I started playing for the review, I was like, so confused. Like, how many regions are there? If I create an account here, I can't log in here. If I have an account there, I can't do this. If I pre-ordered the expansion on this site, I can't claim the code on my server site. So it's just mind-boggling. And then I realized that the funny thing is my account is European. I'm on an EU account, so I pay for all my stuff in Euro, which is stupid because it's so fucking expensive here in Malaysia. But I'm playing on the Japanese servers, so it's like, how does that even work? And I don't want to figure it out, you know. But Final Fantasy XIV is one of those games. All right, what have we got? Move along, adventurer. There's nothing. Oh wait, they're Ishka, right? Move along, adventurer. There's nothing for Lord H. bid you speak with us? Then you must be... beg your pardon, sire. As you can see, they left nary a crate behind. Tipped the wagon for good measure even. Wait, they're French. Why am I doing a... Never mind. Whole thing's a bit odd, if you ask me. Would have been easier just to steal it, though a damn sight harder to conceal it. Hello. Reckon they came prepared, probably with wagons of their own. But pay no heed to my ramblings. Absent proof. Might be a squire receiving care at the observatorium. Could tell you something factual if he's awake, unlike myself. Okay, so this is the caravan, which doesn't look like anything. It just got tipped over to the side. And, what, somebody's injured, right? So I'm riding all the way back. Not happy about that, but that's how things work. I just came all the way here, all the way back. Yeah, can I make it now? All right, at least I know I'm going the right direction. Okay, some more. What do we got? Lord Milgren says, but what I still don't get is all the praise for the story. Ooh, that's an interesting one. What did you not like about the story? Like, I can see like the early parts, like below the level 40 areas. It just takes quite some time to build because, from what I remember, and guys, this is 2 years ago, so you're gonna have to forgive me, right? From a narrative point of view, the game had to establish the 3 different factions. It had to establish a science story. It had to establish the light story, the warrior of light story, and then you've got all your individual job stories as well. So there's a lot going on, and like with all the side quests too, that can drown out stuff. And like for me, during the review, I only focused on the main story, and I just watched that sort of grow and grow and grow. Hang on a minute, I don't see anybody here. Is it upstairs? Did I miss something? Yeah, it's probably upstairs. Ah, there you go. You've come to ask about the attack, haven't you? Yes. We came upon them from the entrance of the Hall of the Seven Echoes. Pilgrims, we marked them as, lost and ill-equipped for a journey further north. Our leader called out to them and one stepped forward to answer. Slowly she approached us, her silver hair flowing in the wind like melting snow. Khaleesi. Just a young girl, I thought, some poor lost lamb in search of salvation. Our leader must have thought the same. Else, why would he let her draw so close? They exchanged some words I couldn't hear, and she leaned forward as if to kiss his cheek. Oh, I like this where we're going. And then he sighed and crumpled to the ground. I didn't know what had happened until I saw the snow turn red. Oh, shit. And then there was red everywhere I looked. I tried to fight, but took a blow to the head, and by the time I came to, the others were dead, and the heretics were unloading the wagon. I couldn't... I mean, they'd have killed me, so I just lay still and listened. Iceheart's people spoke of deliverance and resurrection. Ah, a cultish thing if I ever heard of it. And they spoke of Shiva. Oh, shit, Shiva. I know Shiva. I know Shiva from Final Fantasy. Based on watching my sister play all the games. Shiva is the ice, I don't know what they're called. But I do know of Shiva. I've heard of Shiva alongside, you know, the popular ones. Bahamut and a few other, I don't know what you call them, primals? So this... Which kind of makes sense, because over the past couple of weeks when I've been playing this, like, we've been going through all these named monsters for raid fights or trials, one by one, so I guess Shiva's left, which could be cool. I can't remember how Shiva looks like. So, yeah, I wonder if this is going to lead to a trial. I'm sure it's going to lead to a trial. Let's go and talk to Alphinod, who's back there, which I can just port. Like, let's check in the chat some more. Where are we? Light says, the story is very, very poor at low levels, no voice acting, predictable, and a lot of running around wasting your time. I concur. And the worst story part is 50 to 51. Like what I'm doing right now, the prerequisite for Heavensward. Heavensward, yeah. I mean, parts of this is really building up nicely. Like for me, as of somebody coming back, what it kind of does is it establishes where I left off, what's happening to the world after, you know, the Scions kind of save the whole Garlean Empire conflict thing. But I agree, there was a point in here, and I'm sorry if this is a spoiler for people who haven't done this part yet, but there was a point before we moved to Revenant's Toll, the new home, where it was just fluff. I hate to say it, but it's true. The fluff part was really frustrating, and I would... Some days, you know, after coming from ESO or coming from Warcraft or from Guild Wars 2 or whatever, and I come on here just trying to move the story along, and I get to a part where it's like 10 quests which are all about fetch and talk in a row, back to back, I just really felt like I'm just gonna log out and go to bed because it was gonna make me sleep anyway. But the thing about it for a returning player like me is I'm doing all of this back to back to back with no breaks. What people have to understand, especially in my situation, is this all wasn't in one go during launch. It came in, I think, monthly intervals or something like that. So every time you had a new patch, update 2.1, for example, that was only like half an hour or an hour, and then you had to wait like weeks before the next one came out. So if you do it all in one go, of course, you're going to feel that really sucky feeling that I felt. But at the time, at launch, of course, you don't feel that because you're only doing a small part, and then you're waiting for months before the next part comes out. So just keep that in mind. I mean, you may hear me bitch a lot about the entire process, but it's really, at time of launch when this was current, it wasn't like that at all. Okay, so we're about to reveal Shiva to Alphanod. Let's see what it says. Ah, you've returned. What news? And of course, your character doesn't speak, so... It seems that Lady Iceheart does not scruple? Oh, I didn't read the last part. Who is this Shiva the heretic spoke of? Have you not read a single line of... whatever. Shiva was a traitor to kith and kin, an apostate who lay down with dragons. Lay down with dragons meaning... sex? Mating? Wait, you say she is a patron of saint. Oh. Okay, so yeah, so what was the cargo? That makes sense, because why would, you know, Shiva's cult followers want it? They intend to summon Shiva, yes, we know. That's been the trend for the last, like, few storylines so far. They want summon another primal, obviously. Discretion is of paramount concern, of course. I trust we can count on your continued support, of course. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to combat primal threat. Our support is given. I will need to send word to my brethren in Revan's Toll. Our entire order must turn its efforts to the prevention of its summoning. Naturally, that includes you, though I am sure you would not miss it for the world. Of course, I want to fight Shiva. Okay, let's pick something here that is an upgrade. Unfortunately, nothing. Ever since I did the samurai job quest, the sort of gear that I got was more than sufficient. Like every other quest reward didn't really do anything for me, so I'm just picking whatever right now. Okay, let's go ahead and pick up the next part in this. Woe betide the heretic who crosses Alphanod, Lavelia, for they shall feel the full furious force. Persistent attacks on our caravan seemed little more than a nuisance at first. Heretics were the problem, to be sure, but a relatively minor one. That was before I discerned the purpose behind their attacks, of course. Now they have my undivided attention. Primal. After praising Minfilla of the situation, I shall summon a unit of the Crystal Braves. Yeah, that's the name of this new militarized unit that we have that is apolitical. So it doesn't have any ties to the three existing factions, Ul'dah, Limsa, Limsa, and Gridania. These are people made up of those countries, if you will. But we are like a branch of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, but we're militaristic, and you know, we're like the Avengers, really. Basically, let's put it that way. After prizing, pray join me in White Brim front. Okay. Okay, so the heretics are in the area, and let's go. So now it's picking up a little bit after the last couple of quests, which were mostly chitty-chatty in nature. And we're heading over there. White Brim. Let's go. Chocobo again, so I can catch up and chat. Lord Milcorn says the dungeons I did mate for a promising look, but I think I need to see it later. The more complex dungeon raids. Yeah, I've been watching my sister do some Stormblood raids and stuff. Like, it's just crazy. And the cool thing about Final Fantasy and Square Enix is they collaborate with other studios in Japan. Like, some of the ones... I can't remember. Like for upcoming Shadowbringers, aren't they going to be working with the creators of Nier Automata for one of the raids or something like that? I mean, that's the kind of thing that they do. So they bring in other developers from other games to come in and make some cool content, trials, raids, dungeons, and stuff like that. And some of the collaborated ones are actually pretty fun, apparently, according to my sister, and I trust her anyway. So, okay, let's go in and check in chat some more. We got Romeo in chat, says, hey ho, hello Romeo, and sorry guys if I'm getting to your chats really late. I'm gonna try and keep up with everybody here. Shagraf says, one of the great stuff also is how Final Fantasy XIV is well optimized, runs great. Yeah, I had no issues, even for my review back in 2017. Even then, Final Fantasy XIV had been out for multiple years before I reviewed it, but I didn't have an issue with it. I played it with a controller as well, which a lot of people didn't like doing because you just lose so much flexibility in terms of combat and stuff, but I'm okay with the controller. On the console is something else though. Like, my sister does jump between console and PC. There was a time where her PC broke down, so she was playing Final Fantasy XIV on the PS 3 or 4, I can't remember. But the cool thing is it's a shared account, so you can log in from PC to console with the same account, so that's cool. The bad thing is on console, apparently controller just doesn't really feel as good as it can on the PC. And if I'm being very honest, and I'm sorry if you guys are MMO players on consoles, I think that's the way it is for most console games. You just don't, unless the game was specifically made for consoles, an MMO that's kind of made for consoles where you don't have an insane amount of skills on your hotbar, then it's going to get quite messy. Like, if you only have like 4 or 5 bars, like ESO for example, then you know you can kind of get away with playing on the console. But I don't know if you can do the things that the PC players in ESO does: animation canceling, quick weapon swapping, and all these kind of things that ESO and the PC really has for meta to make you an effective player at endgame. Whereas other MMOs, which are, Neverwinter, for example, you can play in console just fine because it only has a certain amount of skills and you don't really do much with them in terms of combat. So that's my thoughts on that. What do you guys think, for those of you that play Final Fantasy XIV on the console? Okay, where are we at? Light says, I would say that level 50 to 60 story is very good for an MMO, and 61 and 70 is decent, but it's nothing very impressive. 60 to 70 is the Stormblood stuff, right? And Alarm Recurrence says, currently trying to install. Nick says, Breach is kind of awesome, a lot of grinding though. What is that? Is that an MMO or is that a fighting game? Because I always thought that Breach was kind of an MMO. Lord Midcurrent says, story is very cliche. I think the word bombastic, I'm just not sure what's the word for the tonal description. Some bits that sound like a cheat writer would say, any road. Alright, so that's the kind of thing that I do. Final Fantasy XIV has, I think that's a good point, the tone there. The way they describe things, the way the NPCs talk to you in the world. The dialogue in terms of speech patterns in Final Fantasy XIV is a lot different than what we're used to, perhaps. Like, I love jumping between MMOs, and the one thing that I always, it sticks with me is the narrative and story and characters and world, because I think, in the line of work that I am, I'm a storyteller myself, so I'm naturally attracted to that side of things. And Final Fantasy XIV is one of those games where it's way out there, People say pray, the word pray a lot, so pray, would you join me for dinner, that kind of thing, and there's another word too. So all these things are decisions that Square Enix has decided to put in. Like, I don't know how it is on the Japanese version, because, that's a cultural thing, but for the translations and localizations in English, a lot of that decision comes down and it makes the game kind of stand out from other games in terms of speech patterns. Like, in some cases you'd have very straightforward stuff, and in other cases characters say things that doesn't make sense. And I'm not talking about the context of what they're saying, I'm talking about the delivery of how they're saying it. Meaning, if there's an important piece of information that needs to be conveyed between a character and another character, in Final Fantasy XIV, they beat around the bush for a couple of minutes and then they say the point. So they get all that emotional stuff out of the way, and then they'll give you the main point. Whereas in other MMOs, if we're under attack, we're under attack. Like, or if there's something that needs to be conveyed, it's automatically done without, having you wait for a bit, see what the nuance of the other characters in the room are, and look at expressions, facial expressions, before the message is delivered. Final Fantasy XIV does the beating around the bush part a lot, which in some ways is attractive to a lot of people. And I don't know if this is a trait of Final Fantasy games in general, like even the earlier games where that's the way that speech patterns and NPC dialogues had take place. So I don't know that, but yeah, it's just something that we're gonna have to kind of deal with. So you'll see what I'm talking about here. Besides the Salvadoran wish to join the hunt for Iceheart, your assistance is more than welcome, my friends. Considering the report just received, I dare say your timing could be no better. We're all yours, Lord Drillamont. A band of pilgrims was seen transporting a large number of crates to the west. Their garb appears to match the description provided by the squire who survived the attack. Alas, our scouts lost track of them at Snowcloak, the self-same frozen wall which we speculated might conceal the Heretic's hideaway. Suffice to say, the disappearance of these pilgrims and their provisions all but confirm our suspicions. I've heard enough. My knights will join the hunt. I took the liberty of summoning a unit of Crystal Braves to White Brim Front. Given the gravity of the situation, I trust you will agree that we must use every resource available to us. These are extraordinary circumstances, Commander. That will be our best interest to coordinate our efforts. Such was my intent from the start. And so it begins, though I dare say it will prove an all too brief collaboration. Iceheart will not elude the combined forces of the Crystal Braves and the Temple Knights for long. Nevertheless, a wise man does not wager all upon the success of a single solution. I think you guys can slowly start to see what it is here that's going on that I think who brought it up, that you guys can relate to. Like in most situations in other MMOs... Oh, hang on. Is this the Cultist Cave? Yes, yes, excellent. I don't know, I just decided to give him that voice. Oh yeah, that's the ice person. My lady, everything has been accounted for. If there is aught else you would have us do, pray speak, and it shall be done. Alright, let's see what we got. Not an upgrade for the other jobs. Oh, I clicked declined. Oh, no. I'm gonna skip. Sorry, I clicked the wrong button. But yeah, I think like for other people, like most would have expected like a very long kind of like a text window that just explains things, and then you have a little summary. But in Final Fantasy, everything is sort of conveyed to you in that manner. So sometimes, like for me, I feel like I've got no choice but to really put myself in, sort of immersed in that, and I find that that kind of works better. Ooh, I'm getting food here. Bacon bread, nice. All right, let's go ahead. Only the naive place all their hopes. Okay, let's go and click that. It seems as though we are always one step behind, our quarry ever just beyond our reach. Though I would like to believe that the tables are about to turn, I must confess to having certain doubts. A joint effort may succeed where others have failed. Inquisitor... I'm not going to pronounce that, but no, I don't remember who that is. We have not the mystery. Okay, apparently there's a heretic in the fort itself. In the yard, keep an eye on him. If he ventures beyond the walls, follow him. Okay. Got my mission. We have a possible heretic in the yard. Let's go see what he's up to. And let's check it in chat too. Shagar says, Primals in 14 usually summons in single-player Final Fantasy games. Yep, so there's that crossover, right? And we got Sean in chat. Hey, Sean says, yeah, story's long, but good if you get into it. And Lord McCurn says, the link to my account shows nothing about it being inactive or anything, and no buttons to re-enable, reactivate, or get back to Final Fantasy 14. Get back into free-to-play. Just a second to clear my throat. Is there a free-to-play for Final Fantasy 14? Like, can you, like, log in without having an active subscription? I remember trying to do that, like, after one of those return weekends kind of ended, I tried logging back into the launcher, like I put in my credentials, and it just says I don't have an active subscription. So for me at least, I have to pay in order to even log into the launcher. That's Final Fantasy 14 for you. So it might be that. I don't know though if there's if they have like this thing like Warcraft does, where you can play up to level 30 for free, and in Final Fantasy's case, if that trial period is over, do you then lose your ability to log in? So that's something I don't know. And if anybody here does, feel free to help a guy out. Which is exactly what Light's doing in there. Thank you guys. I've contacted support, but it was Friday. After they close on Monday, I'll have an answer, I guess. Alright, we got Xena in chat. Hello, Xena. Xena says, isn't that the kind of immersion breaking, bringing other game stuff in? Not necessarily the character from the other game. I think like the Nier Automata thing was more of, this are the people that designed the game, and they're just working on dungeon design. I could be wrong though. I do know there was a crossover that actually had like the monster or something from Monster Hunter World actually appear here in Final Fantasy 14, and that may be immersion breaking for some of you. Like, what is this Monster Hunter thing? Like, this doesn't make sense unless the story kind of made it into like a primal or something like that. I'm not sure, but that is a very valid concern, especially if it's another game that has nothing to do with kind of like the fantasy elements that Final Fantasy 14 is all about. White says the best AAR primal fight incoming. Ooh, you're really priming me up for the Shiva fight, man. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Although it is 12:03 a.m. as you can see on the top right of the screen. It's Monday morning here already, and because I am playing on the Japanese servers, if I do end up doing a primal fight tonight, I'm not sure if I'm going to get a group. We'll have to wait and see. So here's the destination. We have this shiny thing here. So this is where I believe a cutscene is going to play. Or not. Yes, cutscene. That's kind of jarring, you know, he's got two people just chatting there, nothing going on. Oh, he's leaving, he's leaving. Let's go, let's tail him. Observe, where do you go? Oh, look! Hey everybody, that's my sister over there. Hello, I told you she was in game. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, if you're watching this, I'm going to move on. Alright. And you know the funny thing about these guys, kind of just working out? They've been working out since the last time I was here, like 2 years ago. So they must be fit as hell, these elfie things. Alright, let's go to the location of where he went, right outside the keep. Accused Knight, just standing on the road. This is gonna be good. And you know what's the fun part? I've been streaming for what, almost an hour now, and I haven't done any combat yet. So I don't even know my rotations for the samurai, so this is gonna be fun. That's what coming back to an MMO is all about. Rediscovering. Oh, he's moving. Follow the road east. I do like that, you know, you got all these footprints in the snow and everything. Off he goes again. These are the kind of mechanics that, you know, in other games, I just kind of bang my head on the wall. It's like, you know, it's like, but I can see, it's kind of like MMO designs, you know, someday, I would love to put together like an encyclopedia of MMO game designs and mechanics where, you know, we can list all the different things that kind of makes up the systems and quests, and you know, I think it'll be a really interesting thing to put together, because there's just so many ways to tell a story, and people or game designers make decisions like, do we want to slow them down here? Do we want to, give away the good parts? How do we want to build the tension? What can we do to, prolong that tension in a main quest? And yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's check in chat while we survey some more. Lord Bigger says, yep, Final Fantasy XIV can be played for free. The limitation is you can't get past level 35, which is fair enough, I suppose. 35. I mean, you're only 20 levels away, from the base, 15 levels away from the base game's level cap, so. Hey, where in the Southern Hells are you? I'm freezing my bollocks off here. I'm here, you blundering oaf. Why are you late? Standing on the wall, why else? I've duties to fulfill, Your sole duty is to the... bloody echo. Lower your voice so they'll hear you. Yes, of course. Damble Knights are mumble, mumble. It's Snowcloak. Mumble, mumble. This is what you bring me. We already knew about our comrades in Boulder Downs. What's wrong with me? Why do I have trouble hearing? What's all this mumble, mumble? If you waste my time again, is that clear? Although, if you ever try to eavesdrop on a conversation in a cave, which I've never done in real life, I don't know how that would work, so... I'm now going to have to go back and report mumble mumble. Or the smart thing to do is just to bullshit. Just make stuff up. Are we going back? Yeah, we're going back. Okay, back to the chat. We got Prof. Norgatron. Hello, Professor. This needs to come to the Switch. Take my money. I've seen so much of that. Like, I put out a video sometime last year just talking about, MMORPGs on the Switch, and progress is being made. In Japan, they have a couple of MMORPGs out on the Nintendo Switch. For worldwide, we only have one so far. I forgot the name of it already, but that's a forgettable game. I'm sorry, but that MMO, it's just not worth playing. But, then you start to think about, like, games like Warframe has already come to the Nintendo Switch, and if you think they can do it, I'm sure, like, other MMOs that, have the resources would think about it. And if anything, Final Fantasy XIV would be one of those, although, they'll have to talk to Nintendo, which is another Japanese company, and, we've got Square Enix, and, Sony, and, yeah, it's quite a minefield over there to navigate in Japan, and, trying to get, like, Sony and Microsoft to work together for, like, remember the whole Fortnite debacle about, Microsoft and PC and Nintendo Switch trying to have that one account thing going on, and Sony was like, nope, not happening. So I don't know if they'd do it. But then again, Square Enix are one of the companies that do collaborate with a lot of other people for Final Fantasy XIV, so we may see some of that. Did your investigation bear fruit? Yes. Mumble mumble. There we go. I'm doing it right now. I'm mumbling. I see. I shall have to meditate. His guilt is plain. What part of the mumble mumble gave it away? What that you could have heard? Their words more clearly. Yet, the few snatches you were able to make out nonetheless enlightening. It would seem the heretics are aware of our operation and confident that they can thwart it. Their comrades in Boulder Downs are key to their plans, which means it's key to our plans that they be rooted out. Let's do it! Gimme, gimme, gimme. I'll take... Nah. Whatever, honestly, I don't even care. I've got gear good to last until I'm like 50 or something. 55 at least. I'm 51 right now. The allied forces at Snowcloak are in danger, and Lord Trellamont will have you assist him. Let's do it. We have long suspected that the heretics use a network of secret tunnels to traverse. Given when you overheard, I feared that Snowcloak may be riddled with such passageways. Okay, let's go and root them out then. Okay, let's see. Nicer patrol. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, assist knights. Okay, got it. Yeah, at this point, I'm starting to realize that, yeah, it's been an hour stream, and I've done nothing but talk to NPCs. So let's see how this builds up to the Shiva fight. Where are we going? Where is Snowcloak? Yeah, I'm just gonna click the map and see here. First blood right there. So is there any near ports? Well, going the dragon hit would help, and then so I'll take that. Or actually I can just cross there. Yeah, this will be quicker if I just go through the Gaffin Pass or whatever. Alright, let's move. Alright, in the meantime, while I have this long journey, I can check in on chat. Oh, shoot. Nearly fell off there. I don't know what would happen. I went off the edge. Okay, where are we, chat? Light says, there's a free trial, but to level 35, you can't progress past that level. You need to sub in order to log in after you bought the game. Alright, thanks for that. Good to know. And Lordmaker says, once you're out of a sub, WoW sets your level 20 level... Wait. Once you're out of a sub, WoW World of Warcraft sets you over level 20 characters as unavailable. So I expected Final Fantasy 14 would do that. And we got Tom in chat. Hey, Tom. He says, yo, great to see you, man. Lurking while I'm visiting Colorado. What's up, Tom? Always good to see you, man. How you doing, brother? He says, that mount is awesome. This game seems very immersive. I assume you're talking about the metallic mount rather than the chocobo mount. Immersive... well, if you have an appreciation for like the Final Fantasy franchise, and you do like that sort of a grand, what was the word I used in my review? You know, it's a very grand storytelling in a way that I think people will come to expect from a Square Enix type game, where you know you've got your really gritty fantasy versus the very high fantasy that's kind of posh and uses, you know, speaks words and stuff that... Okay, hang on here. I think this person is about to go. I'm going to jump in and save the day. And I just made it worse because I've just spawned a whole lot of others. But he's almost down, this guy. I'm just going to help him out real quick. I'm going to use all my samurai AoE abilities. I hope that's not too loud. Let me just put the volume down a little bit. Yeah, the amount of like AoE stuff that I can do in the samurai is actually pretty fun. Which is kind of why I liked it, because when I was playing my Lancer or my Dragoon, I didn't really like the skill set. And at that time, it was kind of too late for me to change sort of my job back then. Yeah, I have some memory now of my rotations. I think, you know, with the samurai, you're building this 3 sort of energy sources at the right side there, and just powers up some other skills. Are we done? Yes, we are done. Oh, I arrived just in time. You're welcome, Max Disguise. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's got the same mount. I mean, everybody gets that mount from finishing the main story quest. Sorry, spoilers. Okay, let's go back to Drollamont all the way in White Brim. And this time, I'm just going to ride a chocobo. I can talk to chat. Alright, chat. We got Graspy in chat. It says, yo, hello, Graspy. How you doing, man? Long time no see, you guys. It's, you know, when I do a live stream, it's really nice to see familiar names and new folks as well. You know, thanks so much for joining me tonight. Like, tonight's stream was a completely random thing because, you know, I gotta get up early tomorrow to work, and I'm like, you know, screw it. I haven't live streamed in a long time, and you know, I just want to say hi to everybody. White Brim, let's go. So thanks so much for hanging out, you guys. Lord Midcorn says, I seem to be unable to create a new free-to-play account either, or well. Oh no. Like, even on a different email address? That's kind of weird, right? Tom says, does this game have bracketed PvP that you can do while leveling? Ooh, no, I don't think so. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, when I was doing the review, I had to wait until level, gosh, 30 or something? 40? No, I don't even know, before I had to do some PvP. But that may have changed. They may have lowered the brackets or something like that. Let me just see. No, Duty Finders PvE. Actually, there's PvP. There we go. Some PvP brackets. Level 30. So yeah, you gotta wait till level 30 before you start doing stuff. I've only got 2 unlocked. Like the rest of them are kind of locked right now. But yeah, I have not touched PvP at all. So I'm not the best person to inform you there. So Light says to Tom, there are multiple PvP modes, battlegrounds, 4 versus 4, and a special MOBA like with mechs and creeps in lanes. There are brackets in 4v4 mode, and you can do PvP after reaching level 30. Oh, I was kind of right, except Light's breakdown of the game modes are way better. So thank you, Light. Grappy says, so is this the Landreval server? No. What? No. Landreval is like the Lord of the Rings Online. And that's a different MMO, bro. No, this is Final Fantasy XIV, and I'm on the Adamos world. If you mean if this is the Landreval version of Lord of the Rings, Landreval, for those that don't know, is a role-playing English North American server on the Lord of the Rings that is the second most highest populated server where a lot of events and role-play stuff takes place. Is this the Final Fantasy 14 version of that server? No. That would be Tonberry on the Japanese data centers. Tonberry is the most populated English-speaking Japanese server, which is where I tried to get into, but you can never create... There's a restriction on creating new characters on the popular servers, so there you go. And Light says, I recommend staying away from the PvP as far as possible. Global cooldowns make it very clunky. That turns into waiting until someone dies. Hey, you know what? I can imagine that. Like, we're all waiting for the GCD. Although, I mean, it really depends on the player. Like, you know, the thing that I love about MMORPGs and the reason why you know, if you guys, those of you that follow my channel for a long time, you know, there's something I love about almost all the MMOs that I've played. Even I may bash on a few, I may crap on a few, but you know, there's something for everybody. So there could be people out there that really loves the combat system here in Final Fantasy XIV, and they really love the PvP because it's slow paced, and you know that could make it more strategic, and in that way, you know, it kind of separates who are the noobs versus who knows their rotations better, who knows what skill, you know, for their jobs, or you know, the kind of thing that to do in advance. And I can always see, you know, the pros and cons of that. Like for me personally, this combat system for PvE is fine. I don't know how I would do in PvP. I'll never say never to trying it, but not until I actually know my job inside and out. Like until I get the grasp of the samurai, I won't go, you know, offer myself willingly as a sacrifice in PvP. Although I tend to do that when I used to do leveling streams, because that was half the fun of leveling streams. I was jumping into an MMO I never played for you know, for the first time, and I would do everything. I would jump into PvP and get my ass kicked, and you know, it's pretty fun. And with that, I've officially said it now. You know, I do miss my own leveling streams that I used to do. It's just that now, where we are, 2019, there isn't a lot of new MMOs coming out, or you know, I've been so busy, you know, with work and stuff that I don't have the time to commit like to a long-term leveling stream thing. But I may bring it back. We shall see. Okay, so my knight sent no word of your coming. What has happened? What is that in your hand? Oh yes, and over. Ding. Right, cutscene. By the Fury, those were veterans with years of service, and now they lie dead in the snow. Their bodies must be recovered, and... No. We have not the men to spare. Not now. Not while Iceheart prepares to summon an abomination. The heretics you dispatched were not of sufficient number to contend with the combined strength of Temple Knights and Crystal Braves. There must be others, and I'll wager they're on their way to Snowcloak as we speak. To make matters worse, it seems the traitor you followed managed to pass the heretics something of value after all. The parchment you recovered is a timetable of the guard. Ooh. Oh, that would be handy. So that means, yeah, they could attack us in the fort instead of me having to go on and look for them, which, pretty smart. Timetable has not changed, you see. Of course, it will be changed now, but the heretics may have already been in position. So, okay, we must have reinforcements. Right. I feel it. Yeah, we're slowly building up to a confrontation of some sort. Wouldn't it be cool if just Shiva just comes here and attacks the fort? Because most of, like, the last few primals that I remember fighting in this current storyline, you know, we've always gone to a certain location. We've always ended up fighting in a predetermined area. I want to see some of the primals like devastate an existing keep or something, an existing place that's already established in the Final Fantasy game here. That could be fun. The path of the righteous. Lord Drillamon recognizes the situation in Snowcloak is coming to an head. Okay, let's go. Times of the essence. While my knights make ready to depart, the heretics may take our allies to Snowcloak unawares. If you leave now, there may be still time to warn them. Make haste, I beseech you. Fly to Snowcloak and tell Sir Aymeric everything. Fly, you fool. Fools. Fool. Well, in my case, fool. Singular. Okay, let's check out the chat while we make our way out of here. We got Lady Adrian says random person saved. Yep. Did not even get like a wave or a bow or a thank you. I'm just kidding. I'm just being a jackass. I mean, in MMOs, it's often unsaid. You know, you appreciate the help that, you know, goes by, but yeah. Oh, it's only over there. Okay, what else we have in chat? Like this little potato saved. Respect. Arlim JH, what's up, bro? He says, hey, Final Fantasy 14 stream, nice. Hope everyone's having a good night. PvP's in bad, I quite enjoyed. What up, man? Yeah, Arlim. I remember Arlim, you know, from my leveling streams in Final Fantasy 2 years ago. And, you know, since then, he's always brought up Final Fantasy 14. When are you coming back? Are you making new content? Here I am, bro. Told you, never say never. You know, I'm back here, and looking forward to finishing this entire thing. I still have the Storm... I was about to say Storm Sword. I still have the Heaven's Ward expansion to go through, and the Stormblood expansion to go through as well. So I've got lots of catching up to do here. Before I talk to this guy, back to the chat real quick. Tom says, thank you both for the breakdown. I've since given up on retail World of Warcraft. Ooh, man. You know, I've been meaning to talk to you about that, Tom, about, you know, World of Warcraft. Like, I mean, I'm not bothered by the I'm never bothered by negativity. I just want to say that because I play games that people hate. Like, people love to hate. Like, I have no problems, like, covering an MMO that in the eyes of the mass, you know, general public is just like a... It just sucks, it's bad, don't play it, you know, without them having even bought or played the game. Because I see it as my job to, you know, if I'm going to buy a game or if I'm going to play a free-to-play game, I'm going to try and give it a fair shake and then, you know, give my thoughts and kind of thing. So that's always the standard that I live up for myself. So I don't really care if, you know, what I'm doing doesn't make people happy. Like, you know, covering Anthem or covering Blast Online. And, you know, in World of Warcraft's case, I've just seen an incredible sentiment shift in terms of the MMORPG. I started in Legion with my leveling streams and, you know, finishing Legion, and around that time, you know, people were like, yeah, great, yay, woo, you know, good stuff. And then going through BFA, it just made a 180, a complete U-turn, and I'm like, wow, what is going on? Like, what have I missed over the last, like, I don't know, since Warcraft came out with Blizzard, that it's just gone downhill so fast? Like, it took them 10 years to build up this empire and only like one expansion to really... I don't know if it's been building up from previous years or... So, you know, and I'm pretty new to WoW myself, so I've been meaning to get a couple of WoW vets on Discord and just have a chat that, you know, I could put together and maybe get some perspective, you know? So, so Tom says, I'm considering giving it a second look. Yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy 14, again, subscription. So you're really trading a WoW sub for a Final Fantasy 14 sub. Graspy says, everyone asks Andang, the server's on like every 5 minutes, so it's almost a meme. Andang is pretty popular with Locher, right? So I guess, you know, people want to play with him and they want to know what server he's on. So I guess I can understand why people ask that a lot. Like, but yeah, I can see that. Tom says, well, I'll give the PvP a shot myself. I can't enjoy an MMO if I don't like the PvP. Yep, that's what I meant. You know, everybody's got their own thing. Well, I'm off. Have a great stream. Oh, thank you, Tom. Thank you. Appreciate you dropping by. I'll catch you real soon, brother. We have Yuki in chat. Hello, Yuki says, yo, newcomer here. The main appeal of the game for me is the story. I just finished the Heavensward story and on the 3.1 quest. Awesome, man. You're a new player to the game and you're way ahead of me, and I started like 2 years ago. So that's good to know. So the main appeal for you is the story, and I want to ask you more, obviously, but I don't want to spoil anything for myself. So yeah, how do you like, Yuki, how do you like the rest of Final Fantasy XIV? Like, what else do you do besides the story? Like combat, do you delve into like the mini games and the, what is it called, the Gold Saucer? You know, what do you like more, dungeons or the trials, the raids, for example? Yeah, feel free to let us know. And Lord Milcorn says, the James Bond mount, shaken, not stirred. Awesome, you guys. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to Amaric. This is a welcome surprise, perhaps the only one thus far. As you can see, we have yet to uncover any hidden... Boom, earth shakes. Nothing, okay. You have my gratitude. Truth be told, we suspect that the heretics might be plotting such an attack. Now we have the information, I shall place my knights on high alert. As Commander Lavalier have been informed, the Braves must be made aware. So we gotta go talk to Alfinod, and it's good. You know, we made the Braves, which is, I was involved in the creation of the Crystal Braves. I went around everywhere and talked to people and handed out uniforms. And you know what the sucky thing is? I didn't get a uniform. Where's my Crystal Braves uniform? Although, I don't want to end up looking like that. I can't zoom into first person, but the full uniform for the Crystal Braves, in real life, you'd have to pay me a lot of money to wear that. I mean, you have that, oh gosh, bucket head. I mean, if you look at it properly, it's like a bucket, and then you've got the black handles on the side there, those leather handles, and then you've got the, yeah, I mean, come on, man, we're a military outfit. We kind of look like, oh shit, any British people here? Anybody from UK? I don't know what it's called, but you know, the palace, the royal guards, the palace guards, they have the red version of that. And that's the only thing that came to my mind. I'm sorry, I mean, that's the closest thing I can compare it to. And I'm not saying that's bad. Okay, what do we got? Must be here. I'm certain of it. Why else would they go to such lengths to defend Snowcloak? Tis but a pity this discovery comes when our enemy has us at such a disadvantage. Forewarned though we be, the heretics know the terrain far better than we. I dare not think how many are watching us. I'm sure there's like an invisible cloaking thing that's hiding the entire place. Confound it, this is all wrong. Iceheart has us scrambling to save our own skins, when we should rightly be straining every sinew to find her and stop the damnable summoning. There she is. Who said that? Oh, it's the guards. Come here, girl. Whoa. The cavalry has arrived. That was close. They didn't hurt you, did they? Only my pride. I can guess why. I think... Wait. Did Final Fantasy XIV just drop a gender joke? I need to ask. I need to look that up. Because it just made me confused for a sec. I'm not going to say it, but it just made me confused. Okay, here we go. There's been a development, sir. Together with the Temple Knights, we have secured the entrances to some half-dozen tunnels. Defend it! Aha! Just as I suspected, among this war of tunnels lies the entrance to Iceheart's lair. Summon the others! We're going in! A moment! The tunnel in question is barely wide enough for 2 men abreast. We cannot say with any certainty where it leads, much less what is waiting for us there. Furthermore, we have no way of knowing how many heretics are still lurking here on the surface. What if they were to converge to the... Ooh, what was that? Killian Carricker! Thank you for this, subscribing to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for the support. If you're watching the stream, or if you're coming from one of my other videos, like the news video or the Guild Wars 2 Warclaw. I take your point. If the tunnel is indeed a narrower, as you say, greater numbers would be more hindrance. What does that mean? Well, just send me then. So, you know I'm gonna go in solo or not, so... A change of plans. While we rendezvous with Sir Amaric, we keep the heretics at bay. You will go where the tunnel leads. you find Ice Heart, do not let her escape. Ya bet. Alright, here we go. Speak with the stalwart temple knight. Oh, hey, look, it's my sister again. Hello. Are you stalking me? Are you following my adventures? Or unless she's trying to tell me that it's the raid next, it's the trial next, and yeah, I could use some backup if it is the trial. The entrance to the tunnel, madam, just over here. Had we not seen the heretics breaking the surface, we would never have noticed it. Okay, we will stand guard. Please be aware that even you should encounter significant resistance. We cannot leave our post. Ooh, Snowcloak now accessible, so that means it is group content. Use the duty finder to enter Snowcloak. I don't know what Snowcloak is. Is that a dungeon or is that a trial? One way to find out. Let's open up the duty finder. Snowcloak. Damn it, I can't move it. Snowcloak is... I think it's a dungeon, right? 1 to 4 players. 1 tank, 2 healers. Yeah, it's a dungeon, says my sister in chat. Let's do it then. Alright, so we're gonna group up here. Alright, meanwhile, we'll, she's probably gonna set it up. Thank you. I'm gonna check in chat. And hopefully, I mean, it's 12:30 in the morning, so it could be a while before we get a group. But yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's check in chat. Where did I miss? Where were we guys? Graspy says the word retail World of Warcraft pretty much triggers me. I can't say here what I think of those guys. 14-year vet who stays strong and WoW, and that's commendable. Like I said, you know, all of us love. We all play MMOs, you know, for a reason, and some of us have attachments to these MMOs. So, like I said, you know, the negativity surrounding MMOs doesn't really concern me unless it directly has to do with, you know, a shitty, poor management job that's really impacting the fun factor for a lot of things, or, you know, directly stuff. Oh, hang on. Let me just, my other 2 friends are almost... Oh, yeah. So, yeah, my sister has... my sister managed to bring some of her friends into Final Fantasy XIV as well. So, there's 2 others as well that are almost at this part of the story. So, we could actually have a full party, which is awesome. So, yeah. And, cool. I'll wait. So, in the meantime, let's chat. But yeah, Graspy, don't let the negativity about World of Warcraft, you know, really affect you. The thing is, you know, people, you see all the people bitching and talking negative. I mean, they have their points, which, you know, some of them I agree with. Some of them doesn't affect me because I have not experienced some of it. But, you know, most of the people still playing World of Warcraft, they're still playing for a reason, and they're not, you know, on the forums or on Reddit or making YouTube videos every day about why I quit World of Warcraft or why World of Warcraft sucks. And those are the type of videos you will never see me do for views and clicks. I absolutely detest that shit. I myself can't stand that stuff because, I mean, while most YouTubers do it, and I will probably be guilty of it in the future, you know, trying to make a quick buck or quick view from a controversial clickbaity title, it's just you feel dirty afterwards, you know. Especially when, in my case, like, I never kind of find reasons to make videos about MMOs like that. So, yeah. I don't even know where I was going with that, but if you love an MMO, play it. I'm a Lord of the Rings Online player for, how many years has it been now? It's more than 10 years. Almost 10 years. And, you know, it's not great where it's at, you know, but there are lots of things I have critiqued about it in the past, but I still go back. It's still home to me, you know. And if you can't separate that, like, just because you don't like it anymore and you stop your sub or you quit, that you just automatically shit on the game, and your outlook is always negative from then on. Like, I don't get people like that. How does that happen? you've been a subscriber for so long, then you quit and you go play something else, and then your immediate instinct is to just shit on the game that just came from. What good does that do? I mean, if you want to, like, today's age of players want to punish publishers and developers, and they do that by, bombing reviews, by negativity posts, all that stuff. Maybe 5 years ago, it was great to make a statement on social media, and social media was hot, and viral was the word, really. But in today's day and age, I think we got to do something else. Vote with your wallet, obviously. I mean, that's classic. But at the same time, there are other ways to go about doing it, I think. Some games, some developers, and some publishers deserve it for scummy tactics and shit, but I don't know. It's just a weird thing. Pretty weird. Yuki says, I'm more of a PvE player myself, and Final Fantasy XIV does not disappoint, plus the music in the game is a blessing. Hey, you know what? Oh, here we go. Snowcloak is ready. Commence. So that was pretty quick. I expected it to be longer. Unless, of course, this is all my sister's friends in here. And, yeah, Mel, if you're watching the live stream, yeah, maybe the next time we'll do voice chat, but I don't have my Discord set up right now, so. And I'm gonna be half here, half in the chat. That's how I always do. When there's a live stream, I'm usually focused more on chatting with you guys, because that's what I love to do, and I do that at the expense of what's going on here. So watch me fail a lot here, guys. This is where I'm gonna F things up. I'm gonna have to try and concentrate on this. So I don't know anything about Snowcloak. I don't know what the dungeons are, what the boss fights are. Okay, we have a level 50 Ibex or Ibex over there. Just gonna do my thing here at the back. Oh, jeez. So my sister is playing as a healer, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, let me know what you're playing as. Okay, I think I'm pretty comfortable. Right, let's check it in chat. Lady Irene says, time to cook some dinner, have fun all, and have a wonderful stream, Adrian. Thank you, Lady Irene. Thanks so much for dropping by. Always appreciate it. And if you're still watching, or if you got it turned on, hey, what's for dinner? The animation for some of the samurai attacks I really like. It's kind of flashy. I mean, at least for me, it's way better than my previous Dragoon, which was my class job. So I kind of like the samurai and the way they hold the katana. I hope that's what I'm using right now, because I know there's different variations of that. Can't remember what I was streaming, but it was a different game where there was a bigger version of the katana, which is called something else. I have no idea. Boom. Have some flashy AoE. Although my AoEs kind of rely on crit damage to do a lot. Like for me, the samurai and most of the disciples of war that I use. Like my focus is on strength, obviously, and then crit. Which, I don't know, I don't even know if that's the right thing to do or not. But yeah, I'm not using any guides at the moment, because I've only just returned to Final Fantasy XIV, so. By the time Shadowbringers run around, I promise I will be a decent player. Because for those that are playing Final Fantasy, if you're watching me right now, you guys will be cringing like, look at this guy's hotbar. Like, why are the skills placed in that way, or what? And I do realize that, like, I've got some skills on my bar that I don't even know does what. Like, okay, Limit Break I do know, but all these other stuff, they sound like PvP skills, and I have no idea why they're in my bar in the first place. And I know there's some other, they got rid of the cross-job skills, that much I know, and they kind of replaced it with just like some cookie-cutter stuff that every job will have. So, like up here, I've got like Stun, for example, which I have not used at all. I can also reduce my threat, and I know I can give other members of my party TP. Oh, what was that? Army. I'm just gonna call it Army. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the stream if you're watching the stream, or if you're here from one of my other videos. Thank you so much. Yeah, but it's been pretty chill so far. And you know the thing about Japanese servers, like I'm not sure how many of you have ever. Okay, hang on. Boss fight. Let's see. One deal. That's an interesting looking thing. Okay, tank is pulled. He's turned around. That's great. And you gotta realize my webcam is blocking the chat box, right? But you'll notice nobody speaks on the Japanese servers. Oh crap. That's my phone. That was my phone telling me that Warcraft has started a live stream on Twitch. Ever since I got the Twitch app on my phone, and because you know all the MMO companies, I follow them on Twitch. Every time they go live, I get a notification. Oh boy. Pretty straightforward, tank and spank for the most part. I mean, this is only the first boss of the dungeon, so... I still took damage from that. Come on, I got out of the way. Let's see. Reduce threat. Let's click that for some reason. What else we got? Refreshes a TP of a single party member. Let's click that for some reason. Why not? TPs, you know, like you have your MP there, and then you got your TP as well. Like I think most Disciple of War classes, the resource we use is TP, I believe. MP's more for the magic users. Oh, frost bombs. Right, so these are the ads that we want to kill. Doesn't matter. We got through it. I didn't do a damn thing. Which is always the fun part. Oh, I've got loot as well here. Forgot about this. La la la, la la la. I'm just gonna pass on all these stuff. Boom. The way the katana just slices like horizontally. I just love that. I'm a big... I mean, those of you that have followed my channel for a long time, you guys know that most of the MMOs that I play on like reviews or on streams has always been like a melee character. I just love melee. And recently I started getting into, you know, ranged characters and magic a lot, especially with the Elder Scrolls Online, where to me, and I'm not sure if there's any ESO players in chat, and you guys might feel, you know, a bit weirded out hearing this, but melee characters in ESO just doesn't feel good for me. Like, my main is a Templar. Ooh boy, I'm taking damage. How and why? Thanks for the heal, whoever that was. But yeah, as I was saying, ESO is one of those games that really converted me into playing like a magic class, like a range class with a staff, and that's what I've built my Templar around over there. So these days, more MMOs, I try and get into some range classes as well because of that. Okay, so I've noticed passing through that wind wall over there is going to give me a debuff and does some damage too. Wait for my AoE rotations right now. And you can tell if I've set up a follow-up skill by, if you look at my hotbar, certain skills begins like a chain, and you can keep that chain going by pressing, you know, the other skills that glow. So that's your Dummy's Guide to Final Fantasy XIV's combat. If you haven't taken the time to read the skills and figure out what they do, which I highly recommend doing later on. Boom. Hang in there, chat. I'll get to you guys in a sec. I just want to make sure, like, these are the places I know if I look at chat for the next 5 minutes while I'm doing this, I'll be running off the cliff on the side there. So why not? That could be fun to watch. So let's go ahead and check in chat some more. Jusmel, that's my sister. Hello, welcome back. You talking to me? Thank you. Thank you. Good to be back. Light says, the wonderful world of DPS Dungeon Queue. May mentor save you from the 20-minute wait. You know, to be fair to my sister, ever since I've came back, you know, if she's online, she'd always help me out if there's a dungeon or a trial. And yeah, so getting into queues hasn't really been a problem yet. Although, for me, there have been times where I have to play during the day because of the better queue times, obviously. Like I said, I'm playing on the Japanese servers, so I have to keep that in mind. Whereas if I'm playing on a North American server, the best time for me to do dungeons and raids is in the AM, like between 3 a.m. and 10 a.m. for me. That's the North American prime time because I'm 12 hours behind New York. So, yeah. Oh, Yeti. Let's get him. Turn him around. I'm doing that slashy rotation, that's what I remember. I can have different variations of that too. Oh. What's that? I'm just gonna go for the ad for some reason. Ah, there we go. So the tank has already marked ads in order that we want to get rid of. That's always nice to see. Anymore? Well, they're all here, so we might as well go for the AoE rotation right now. Which really feels underwhelming compared to my, oh my god. What do we do? Where can we go? Do we stack? I'm gonna stack on the healer. Holy crap. That put me in a bind. I am not gonna get a commendation for this. The tank will be like, what is this DPS doing? Boom, have some of that. Boom. So I guess this large AoE thing is, we're just gonna have to take it in the face, huh? Not much we can do about it. Clinton Rowe just subscribed. Thank you, Clinton Rowe. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream if you're watching the stream. Alright. Let's see if I can get away with checking some chat. I want to hear all the... ooh, hang on. That looked like a big guy. Alright, yeah, let's get rid of that one. Okay, where we are. Yuki says, I play a scholar, so Q's is not an issue. Same thing my sister tells me. I mean, you know, if you're... Oh, what was that? Cheat Code just subscribed. Thank you. Welcome to the channel, you guys. Thanks so much for the support. Yeah, but my sister always says, you know, you play a healer here. I mean, most of the MMO... most MMOs you play as, if you are going to play a healer, your queues are always going to be better. And in Final Fantasy XIV, like, I've noticed that the tanks and healers have obviously the better queue times compared to your DPS. So it helped. Ooh, mamma mia, that one hurt. Oh, hang on. My sister was saying, don't kill the bunnies. Sorry. Okay, I'll just focus on the boss from now on. I've not been paying attention to party chat in game. And I'm telling you, I am not getting a commendation. Oh, so that's what that means. There's a stop sign on the ads. I feel like an asshole. Hey, how do you say sorry in Japanese? Well, it's not like I type it out. I mean, I can't type it out. Let's see if there's a sorry. There's an auto. Oh, hang on. You know what? Screw it. Let's just finish him off. He's almost dead. All single target attacks from now on. That was painful. That was painful to realize that that was a stop sign and not a #1 ad sign. Good lord. Ugh. That was not fun. I'm gonna pass on the loot. Oh man. Well, there's a reason there's a flower in my head, but they may as well give me the seed icon to show that I'm a new player. And to be fair, I feel like a new player. Alright, let's check it in chat. Come on, chat. Give it to me. Give it to me the worst. Lay it out. Lay out how bad that was. I deserved that. Alright, let's check it in chat some more. Light says, poor Alphanon, always mistaken for his sister. Hey, who's Alphanon's sister? Is that... Did I miss something, or is that an upcoming storyline? Because I don't remember who Alphanon's sister is. Yuki says, I made the same mistake before. That's what happens when twins have the same hairstyle. Alphanon's a twin? Okay, I'm so lost. Please, enlighten me. Arlem J says, Dungeon Yo, I like Snowcloak, very chill. I see what you did there. Background music is quite nice. Yeah, I sort of noticed that. Like, there's this tune is really interesting. Like, you know, you'd think you'd have like really hardcore battle music because it's like kind of building up to like the Shiva fight, which is pretty much gonna come soon. But it's like a real nice. It's like a song you'll listen to on a Sunday night, you know, over hot coffee before you go to bed or something. That's the vibe I'm getting. Yuki says, it can go from very chill to upbeat in a second. Light says, agreed, the music is very nice, but it's also calm and it almost makes you fall asleep. Exactly, that's exactly what I was thinking about. Goddamn bombs. Okay. I just saw... Okay, there's an alligator over there, there's a big gator, and there's a couple of these Spriggans. Based on what I've learned from the past boss fight, I'm gonna leave those bunnies alone. The monster design for this alligator always freaks me out because, you know, it kind of reminds me of a tarantula kind of spider because of all the hair or the fur or whatever you're gonna call that. It's a good monster design, and most of Final Fantasy XIV's monster designs are pretty interesting in a way that you get some really outlandish ones, and then you get someone that's really cartoony. Oh, what was that? Snowclops. That's an interesting name. Snowclops. Alright, let's burn this sucker. See what other skills do I have. Oh, that wasn't a boss. Never mind. Dove Aves. That looks like a ancient, I forgot what the name of that dinosaur bird is. But it seems the deeper we get in here, the more dragony the monsters are becoming. And I've seen some of the promo for the Heavensward expansion, and I do know there's dragons. At least that much I do know, unless I'm completely wrong. And there's still loot that I haven't rolled on yet. I'm just passing everything real quick. My guild, or in Final Fantasy they're called free companies, which is the guild. They're speaking in Spanish, I believe, and that's new for me. I always thought that this was I joined an English-speaking guild, but they're talking Spanish, so that's pretty cool. I just like how the Japanese data center just brings everybody together. You know, it's like it's interesting. Uh-oh, what do we got? Looks interesting. Okay. Fenrir, that's... Oh man, it's such a familiar thing. I can't remember where I've read Fenrir before. I know it's a popular wolf mythology name. I'm ready. I hope. Fingers crossed I don't mess up like I did the last one, so we'll see. When all else fails, just... oh, my sister says, after the second wave of ice, you need to hide behind one of the ice when the boss casts Lunar Cry. Gotcha. After the second wave of ice. I need to figure out what the first wave of ice looks like. Well, I'll keep an eye on everybody. If everybody starts running away, then I'll do it. Thanks for the heads up. Is that what we're hiding behind now? No. I have no idea what the ice wave looks like. My eyes are so peeled out right now, like so anticipating it. Where do I look to see what the boss is casting? Woohoo! Oh, I'm coming! Wait for me! I'm almost there! Oh, son of a gun! Ooh, that was close. Whew! Oh, shit! Yeah, that's fun. That's good stuff. Right at the last second, like now at least I know where to look when the boss kind of casts something. 1,000-year storm, okay. Oh, I'm standing right in it. Come on. Die already. It's almost gone. Yeah. Here comes Luna Cry. And I know I'm gonna have to get out of that as soon as... Oh! Never mind. That was it. I've obtained 35 elegant tomestones and 70 elegant tomestones. Those tomestones or whatever I'm saving for level 60 later on. So okay, let's go ahead and oh yeah, I gotta cast my loot. Yeah, that's not an upgrade, so I'm gonna pass on that. And what is that? Petrified log? No, I'm passing that too. And ooh, what was that? Mateus has subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Mateus. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate the support. All right, let's get out of here. Mel, thank you so much for helping out your brother in a dungeon. I appreciate that. That was the first boss was a pain. It was painful. I'm not gonna have fun watching that again.
The trails do not do you justice, warrior of light.
Ooh. Who's that? Oh, it's the ice person.
Yes, I know who you are, and you know who I am.
I actually don't.
I was given the name Izel, but I earned the name Iceheart.
Isel.
This endless cycle of hatred, of bloodshed, of sorrow. You would see it continue, O noble warrior of light. I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man, no matter the cost. In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good. For Eorzea, for Hydaelyn.
So she's kind of painting herself as like a gray area character, right? Because I mean, from the sounds of it, the thing is, I don't know what's going on in Ishgard right now, except there's a war between dragons and men, which in itself sounds freaking awesome. Which is why I can't wait to get to the first expansion. Ooh, that's a cool trick. Alex has just subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Alex, if you're watching the stream. Appreciate it. Or from the other videos. And if you ever see this, you have my thanks, good sir. And here we are right outside. So, okay. Now it's time to catch up on chat, because I know I missed a lot of stuff because I had to focus on the fight and everything. Okay, where are we? Unfamiliar Discover says, what's your thoughts on Elder Scrolls Online? Ooh, what a question. ESO has been, yeah. Okay, hang on, let me just reply my sister real quick. Okay, what? What? Unable to send a tell? Recipient is in a restricted area? What nonsense. What do you mean I can't send a tell restricted area? Where are you anyway? It still says you're in... Oh, they're now doing the dungeon that I just did. That's cool. Okay, what are my thoughts on ESO? I like ESO. I play ESO a lot. It's one of my sort of main MMOs alongside Guild Wars 2 and a little bit of WoW and I guess Final Fantasy 14 now as well as preparing for expansion. I mean, I know it's one of those games, like when I first played ESO, I had a lot of reservations, right? Because I chose not to play it in 2014 based on my YouTube game review people, like the people I looked up to, you know, telling me everything that was wrong about ESO. And with me having played in the open beta myself, you know, I could definitely see a lot of that. And I just thought I'm probably going to wait for a while, see what happens with it. And I'm glad I did, because when I came back, a lot of the issues that I knew about were kind of fixed. And, you know, I'm an Elder Scrolls fan. I do like the setting. I do like the world and the storytelling and everything. There's a lot about ESO that I personally like from previous experiences of the franchise. And, you know, there are things that are, I get some people absolutely dislike, like the combat system and the champion point system and all this stuff. That's all valid. It's subjective. It's a valid concern for a lot of people that experience that themselves. For me, where I get the most bang for my buck with ESO is that for the large majority of my ESO playtime, I've not dropped a whole lot of money in the game as a buy-to-play game, and I recently just bought the year-long subscription because of how much I enjoyed ESO overall in terms of the types of stories they were telling and what I was able to do and the way I was able to adventure and just immerse myself in that world. I found pretty enjoyable. So that's ESO for me. I guess it's no secret to say that I'm working on a new ESO review for 2019 that I'm going to be putting out before the Elsewhere chapter drops. So if you're going to stick around my channel, be a bit patient. I've got a proper breakdown of ESO in 2019 in a video coming out this year. So Lord Milcorin says there are those who publish why I left this MMO every 6 months. Yeah, I know, and I've seen a lot of that. It just pops up on my YouTube homepage, why I quit this MMO, and I'm like, who cares? Because in a month you'll put out a video why I returned to this MMO and make about $100. So what is that in for the people, you know, that watches your stuff? I mean, for me, I don't have that problem. I play all the MMOs, and I always leave give myself the option to come back, because that's what I want to do. I want to see how games improve and what's new and what's changing. And one of the best decisions I've ever done for myself is to cover news as much as possible. I already do it for work. You know, I'm a freelance writer, and I contribute articles to a few MMO like websites or magazines and stuff like that. So I always had sort of a finger on the pulse in terms of what's going on, but I've just never done it for my channel. And for me, I think the best decision was doing that, because in that way I'm willingly making myself more aware of what's out there and opening up my eyes and ears and experiencing different games. And I can only say, to me, that's a very enriching experience. And I know I'm going to sound like some sort of religious nut here, but bear with me. Had I just stayed in one MMO for the rest of my gaming life, I would never have that sort of experience. You know, it's like when your friends tell you travel in your 20s, travel in your 30s, see the world, you know, open your eyes to different cultures and everything. That's what MMOs is to me. I don't travel the world, but I travel MMO worlds and see the different systems and stories and games and communities, and that's rewarding for me. And being able to cover as much of that as possible on my channel, that's what I love doing. The things that I don't think about is why I quit, why I come back. You know, there are always good stuff about games that's worth highlighting. And there's always bad stuff that's worth pointing out to warn you that this may not be to your taste. And then in between all that, that's just the hate and, you know, the dramatization to sensationalize the emotion of negativity that is just like to flies. It's what humans are made of. Conflict creates drama. Drama creates attention. And that is the media for you. Anyway, let's go on and chat some more. We've got Dario in chat. Hello, Dario. Dario says, I don't think today's players are bashing developers to bash them. I just think there's a constant pattern at the moment where devs are not listening to players at all, which is, again, agreeable, but you're lumping all developers in one basket when there are other developers who have been absolutely the opposite, you know, but they don't get any credit. They don't get any shout-outs. It's just that, you know, like under the EA branch, you've got a lot of different studios. When an executive decision was made by the EA, it's the studio that takes the blame, because people just tend to generalize everything, and that's dangerous. You know, I'm all for critique. It's what I do. It's what I'm doing actually right now on YouTube. So I'm all for everyone having a voice and saying it, but we have to be aware of how to differentiate what comes from where, who does what, and who's responsible for it. If we clump everything together, it's going to be the death of the video games industry, because nobody wants to make games anymore if this is the type of thing that happens. But that's been an evolution for video games with the review system in general, the scoring system in general. Do you ever wondered why I don't have scores in my reviews? This is an 8 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, a 4 out of 10. That reviews, what time is it? I don't want to get into it at 1 in the morning. I may make a video about that in the future, I don't know, but I just have a lot of shit to say about scoring reviews. Arlim says, maybe I'll start on the Animus server to join you on some runs. Hey, feel free to join, man. I'm going to be on Animus. I don't see myself leaving this server anytime soon, because my sister's here, and we're all in the same Southeast Asian country. We're all in Malaysia, so, you know, at least we have we can play together in the same time zone. So yeah, feel free to join. Lord Midgrowing says, yep, she's a healer as your waiting composition at the start of 01 Awesome, thanks. And obviously I wasn't looking at that because I was doing something else. Arlem says, yes, it's a katana, no worries. In Final Fantasy 14, all samurai weapons are categorized as katanas. Awesome. We have Iona. Hello, Iona. Oh my gosh. I hope I'm not getting to your message too late, Iona. But it's so good to see you. It's been a long time. Iona says, so good to see you streaming. Thank you. It's been a while. My last stream was Crowfall almost 2 months ago on YouTube, so I haven't had the time. Unfortunately, because work has been real crazy in the last couple of months. But I miss streaming, and every time I do stream, it's so nice to see everybody and talk to everybody. You know, you guys have been fantastic. We got Rabix in chat. Hey, Rabix. Rabix says, hi, Adrian. It's so refreshing to see a blogger like you, always polite, kind, and educated. Please don't stop making content. Oh, thank you, Rabix. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks. I'm not going to stop making content. There's a lot of things that you know, I have hope for MMOs. Like, people would always say MMOs are dying, and you know, this genre is going down because of like battle royale and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, maybe, or maybe not, you know. And I'm just gonna make content and try and get the word out and spread the joy and enjoyment of MMOs, which is why we're all here for. So thanks, Ravix, appreciate that. Yuki says, I only started playing 2 weeks ago, and even now I feel very clueless most of the time at rotations. Yay, cheers, clink. Although we should get better soon. Light says, best rotation is a healer rotation. Dots up and then spam that 1-1-1-1. I can imagine that's, you know, the same case for most healing classes, right? Light says ASD is love, ASD is live. What is ASD? Is that astrologist? Is that the name of the job? Yuki says, as a scholar, at least for me, I heal then do DPS if I don't need to heal. So on average, I use 7 to 8 skills in a dungeon. Interesting. I mean, I may heal here. I don't know. I may, but I'm just having fun with the samurai for a bit. And for those of you just watching casually, yeah, this is the part where I like to catch up on chat for a bit. So if you see me for the next 3 minutes talking to chat, this is what I like to do. You guys have spent the time watching, and I owe it to you to answer any of your chats and questions. Lord Milcurrent says, the saddest Yeti I've ever seen. What was that? Cone behind it? And add a fart attack. Arlim says, snowballs deal the biggest damage to the Yeti, so DPS gotta kill the ogres. Right, so you guys are already talking about the mechanics, and I should have checked in a chat. Lord Milcurrent says, Gamen Sai, and I guess that's Japanese for sorry? Object says, haha, it's alright. New players gotta learn. I know, I messed up there. Jonas says, lol, Adrian. Light says, or you could just type sorry chat and press the tab to translate. Yeah, that's the cool thing about Final Fantasy XIV. If you are on a foreign server like I am, you know, you have this auto translate thing. So I'll show you guys how that works. So I can do a say. So if like I do hello in chat and I hit the tab button, it comes up like hello. So clicking that, and when you put it in chat, so while it comes out to me like that, I'm not sure you guys can see that. You can't, sorry. Unless I move myself. Can I move myself? No, I can't. Can I move the chat? No, I can't. Well, basically, a universal translated message goes out in chat, and every other player there that has their own localized language will see that as translated in their language. It's a pretty cool system that Final Fantasy XIV has. Okay, I'm almost done catching up in chat. Almost done. I'm almost at the end. Yuki says the twins were shown at the very beginning of the game and at another part of the story early on. Okay, we're talking about Alphinaud and his twin sister, right? Okay, so Light says when Alphinaud talks about how he wants to save the world by politics and she disagrees and they part ways. Okay, that makes sense. That's because I haven't seen her since. And the last time I finished the AAR raid chain, which is what Light's saying. Oh, you no longer see her until the AAR raid chain. I'm not sure if that's where I'm at right now, but it's been 2 years since I finished the main story for Final Fantasy XIV, so I can't remember the details. Graspy says, everyone needs a sister or brother who can tank, DPS, or heal. I know, right? That'll be like the perfect combination. You have your family all doing different roles. That would be fun. This takes care of queues, and we can do like pre-made PvP stuff. Alphinaud says, that took longer than I expected. What news? We have just defeated Fenrir, and I've had a confrontation with, I forgot her name already. Iceheart, there we go. So Iceheart is nothing but, not that it matters that she managed to escape is regrettable, but from your description of that beast, you did well to come as close as you did. In any case, now that you have cleared a path, the Temple of Knights can begin to survey the tunnels in earnest. Mayhap they will even find a way past the ice wall. Wouldn't that do wonders for their fight against the heretics? And all this talk of Shiva, and we haven't even got there yet, so I wonder how long that's going to take. The Crystal Brace would certainly share the credit for it too. 12 be praised. We may yet return the situation to our advantage, assuming we stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva. Right, there we go. So that's her plan, obviously, to bring back another primal, and I think, I could be wrong, but this is the last primal on my way to the first expansion, which is Heaven's Word, so that could be interesting. Needless to say, our fellow Scions have not been idle. Main feline, Urianger have been busy pursuing the archives of the House Forteau, gathering what information they can on Shiva. Which reminds me, if you are intending to trudge back to Camp Dragonhead, don't. The antecedent should be here any minute. Excellent. The one thing I find weird though is like for this catching up phase between 2.1 and 2.5, the amount of XP that it rewards you isn't really that great. So I'm getting like 4.8, but you know, a couple of weeks ago last week I jumped into like a duty roulette for leveling, and within one dungeon I leveled up to like level 51. So if you are a returning player like me, the entire prerequisite story quests until the first expansion, you will not level up at all, because the XP gains is just very low for returning players. For new players, you will level up very fast. Okay, let's see what we got now. For the greater good, though not given to small talk, Alphanod can think of no better way to pass time. Oh, okay. Before we get into this this conversation, let me just finish up checking in chat. Lights or an army of mentors. Yeah, I haven't made any friends on Final Fantasy XIV beside the people that I know so far, and my free company, of course. So, yeah, I should keep some mentors in check here. That would work too. Lights' next 2 quests probably, and then you will fight her. The hype is real. So I don't know if I want to save that for the next stream, or should we do it tonight? Because the Shiva fight is going to take, what, 12 players? Excuse me, real quick. So I'm not sure if we can get 12 players tonight. I don't know. Let me ask the cavalry and see. Oh yeah, they're in a dungeon, right? So I can't really ask them, so we'll have to wait and see. Well, let me just get there first, and then we'll decide what we want to do. Oh, she changed her outfit. That's like the first time I've seen her in a different outfit from the other pink one. She lay down with the dragon. There it is again. The gravest of all sins according to the Ishgardian faith. Yet in the eyes of Iceheart's followers, this was a holy act. The blessed union of man and dragon. How such a thing could even be possible is quite another question. Suffice it to say, I very much doubt that we will have a useful answer in the archives of House Forteau. Much knowledge has been lost over centuries, though in this case, one wonders if it's by circumstance or by design. You said that Iceheart took a moment to plead her case prior to escaping, did you not? Yeah, she said that... I don't know what she said. She was trying to stop the war between man and dragons. Which, yeah, I agree. Viewed without prejudice, it makes sense, right? Peace. I think Sir Aymeric might take issue with her methods. Speak of the devil. Here he is. I do not care if you stragglers manage to escape. Until the sap is confirmed that the tunnel is safe, the men are not to search it. I really like his armor, though. That's something I would wear, definitely. That's the coolest armor I've seen on an NPC so far. You pursue your foes with less zeal than I expected, Sir Aymeric. Lest you misunderstand, I do not deny that our enemy has given us good reason to be prudent. I merely meant you are, being a man of faith, that I had expected a certain single-mindedness. After all, was it not by the will of Halon that your ancestors came to this land? Why they took up arms against the Dravanians? What would they have done in your position, I wonder? There are those of us who believe that faith is a renunciation of free will, that unquestioning devotion is required of all who would live a life of too fast. Such righteous fervor may well serve a knight on the front line, less so a leader of men. We are all at liberty to interpret the scriptures as we will. I choose to believe that the Fury would value the lives of our followers over the deaths of our enemies. So what is he suggesting? That we're not gonna go and I feel like there's gonna be a twist here. Like, this Aimric guy is going to be a baddie of some sort. I don't know. I don't know if that's a spoiler. I don't know if that's true. But the way they're setting him up, it's like he's got to be some sort of a backstabber or a traitor or something down the line. That's the vibe I'm getting from him anyway. I could be wrong. Again, for those of you watching or just joining, I've not played any expansions in Final Fantasy XIV. I'm making my way through Shadowbringers through the 2 expansions, so that's what this stream's all about, just me catching up. Mayhap it does not truly believe that Iceheart's plan can succeed. Truth be told, I too remain somewhat skeptical. Dangerous. Shiva was a real living, breathing woman, of that there can be no doubt. In this respect, she differs from every other figure to have been summoned, of each whom the sole exception being good King Moogle Monk. I remember this King Moogle. This was a trial that I did like a couple of weeks ago. It was funny as hell. One of the fun fights. Yeah, it's another one of those long exposition-y cutscenes. But it's interesting stuff. I mean, I can see a lot of people being bored out of their minds if they're not following the story. Like, if you just jump in halfway, you're like, it's all this blabber and blabber, but I've been following it, you know, ever since I came back, so this is all interesting stuff to me. My survey team has concluded a preliminary analysis of the Aetherite, or Aetherite, Iceheart used to escape. They believe that she teleported to another Aetherite somewhere not far from to the west. Despite the apparent proximity of the second Aetherite, however, they have been wholly unable to detect its presence directly. Without the means to teleport as she did, we have no choice but to search for an alternate route. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Oh, wait, there's more. While Minfil looks into our Aetherite problem, I would like to request your assistance with another matter. Sure. The 3rd unit is currently tracking the remnants of the Heretic force which attacked us. However, the search goes poorly despite our numbers. Orthus is vast, and Iceheart's followers know the terrain far better than we. Your knowledge of this region may hasten the process. The sooner we capture the followers, the sooner we can press them for the whereabouts. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Alright, let's do it. Task complete. Come find my... Alright, cool. Yeah, stop overdrawing this conversation longer than it should have been. This conversation should have ended, like, at least for me, the way I see it, should have ended like 2 minutes ago with the important details. But like I said, at the time this came out, this entire MSQ series came out in batches and are updates. So for me, if I'm doing it back to back to back, you can see like there's going to be some fatigue there. Whereas when at the time of release, this was new content, you know, so everybody was lapping it up. Okay, believe me, most of the 3rd hail from Ul'dah, and for a man accustomed to the feel and sand, the crunch of the snow can be disconcerting. We're Danifin Pass. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's check it and chat some more. We got Tim Coolish in chat. Hey, Tim, he says, finally get to see you play live. Yay, settling back into relax and enjoy you playing Final Fantasy XIV. Good to see you, Tim. Long time no see, and yeah, it's good to be back. I mean, I've been back in low-key, sort of, in Final Fantasy XIV for a couple of weeks now, and I've put out some videos where I sneakily added in some of my you know, return to Final Fantasy 14 footage. And yeah, I've been having some fun. I'm just really looking forward to experiencing the content that is... Everybody's been saying it. The 2 expansions that have been, you know, well received in some way. And I'm hearing all kinds of stories, and I have nothing to add because I've not experienced it yet. And Shadowbringers is, of course, the one that's dropping this summer, so I'm kind of excited for that. And it's going to be my first Final Fantasy expansion that I'm going to be playing when it launches, the same way how BFA was my first World of Warcraft expansion when that launched. So, yeah, it could be pretty fun. What is that thing behind him? A chinchilla. Nice. Alright, before I talk to this guy, let's move on some more. Lord Minicorn says, half dragons are born when an egg philiac finds the lair of a dragon. Well, thanks for putting that picture in all our minds, man. Lim says, Adrian, you can get Americ's armor from the Mog Station for glamour. Mog Station, that's the website. That's the out-of-game store, right? Well, oh, yeah. By the way, for those that don't know, Final Fantasy XIV doesn't have an in-game cash shop. Yeah. So everything, if you want to buy optional items, I think it's what it's called, then you have to go to the Mog Station, which is where you can pick up like outfits or additional mounts and stuff like that. So yeah, that's good to know that most of the NPC armor can be bought from the Mog Station. Cool. And Light says the same thing. Light says, "Good King Mog, good King Mog, ruling all the land." I do remember like his little minions doing that chant a lot, and that at the time it kind of annoyed me. In hindsight, that was a pretty interesting trial. I don't know, but yeah. Lord Milcorn says, "Game not recommended to the players of DM of the Rings." Tim Cooler says, "So good to see you too." Oh, good. Yeah, like some people have been excited for me to like go through the expansion, which is why I'm going to be asking you guys, do you want me to live stream the entire process of me catching up to Shadowbringers as a weekly series? Because I'm thinking of a way to come back to streaming on YouTube on a more consistent basis, and one of the ways for me to do that is to prepare an ESO character for the Elsewhere chapter or level a Necromancer when that comes out, and the other way is of course to, you know, live stream my journey from Heavensward through Stormblood through getting to Shadowbringers on a weekly stream, something like this. Road to Shadowbringers, or I may call that the series. So for you guys watching, or if you're going to watch this later, VOD, let me know if that's what you want to see for Final Fantasy. I may do it for other games, but yeah, a weekly stream, Final Fantasy, catching up to Shadowbringers, and then later on, if there's any other game that I can do a similar thing for, besides a leveling review stream, then yeah, go ahead, let me know. And I'll figure out what date that could be. I could do Sunday nights, which is like right now, by the way, and yeah, we'll see. So let me know what you guys think. In the meantime, let's talk to the 3rd Unit Brave. What do we got? Balls. My ankle is on fire. Caught my boot on a rock or something and twisted it as I fell. I've twisted an ankle before. It's not fun. But I got kicked. Somebody kicked me. I was playing futsal. That really hurt. The others went on ahead through Denifin Pass. Hurry and you might catch up. If you aren't sure where to go, look for tracks. The snow is fresh, so they shouldn't be hard to find. You bet. And if your ankle is twisted, you don't want to be in that posture, bro. Trust me. That is not... Well, it's snow, so it's not that bad, I suppose. Fun fact, I don't know what snow feels like. I've never experienced real snow. Let's go. Same place where I was earlier on. Teleportation fees are reduced. That's kind of nice too, yeah. Because I've noticed, I'm not sure what the ceiling is like for you guys that play Final Fantasy XIV regularly, you guys in chat. How much gil, which is the currency, in-game money, you guys have? Like you guys can see, right? Bottom right, I'm hovering near 500k. And so far, that's been enough for me to do all my teleportation, maybe buy a couple of items off the auction house, and that's it, you know, because there hasn't been, well, I haven't repaired it in a while, I don't think. I don't even think there's a durability issue here. Maybe there is. I just don't know. Maybe that's what these icons are for. That you can tell I'm definitely a returning player. But yeah, I haven't... There hasn't been a money sink yet for me. So are there money sinks in Final Fantasy XIV that I'm not aware yet because I'm not at the end game? I'm not at the level cap of 70 for my job. I'm gonna take a close look. Ah, there we go. Footprints. That's what I was looking for. Tracks lead southeast. Off we go. Also, looking forward to flying mounts. I've not seen any videos of people flying in Final Fantasy XIV yet. But I wonder how that's going to be. And my pre-ordered version of Shadowbringers, I ordered the collector's edition, so I am going to get that cool looking mount that apparently can fly. So we'll see. And of course the Gunbreaker, yeah. So, but that's a tanking job, and I'm not sure, you know, based on what I've seen Final Fantasy XIV tanks do, like the whole marking, I'm not sure I'm ready to do that yet, so I'm just going to stick to my samurai for the time being. Scion, what are you doing here? Saving you, what do you think? The Heretics, I'm not sure. There was a great scaled beast, and Yu Yu Hase, I think he went east on his own. The Heretics split up too, so we did too. Very casual conversation. Yu Yu Hase. Why does it sound so... Oh, never mind. I was thinking of a Japanese comic I used to read as a kid, and I believe it's called Yu Yu Hakusho. It's the title of the comic, and it's a supernatural comic. It was one of my favorite comics. I only had like 3 or 4 comics from Yu Yu Hakusho. I believe that's the name. I could be wrong, but yeah, that was one of my favorite supernatural comic books. All right, let's take him out. Take me to your leader. Or actually don't, because I'll figure it out myself. But I'll kill you first. Oh, stunned. Okay, next up. It's so nice too. A nice change of pace from my Dragoon or Lancer, where the mechanic for that one was skirting around the sides, or flanking. That's right, flanking. Samurai, I could just stand there and just face tank it, and you know, kind of a lazy way to play, but it's okay. How embarrassing! I was so intent on following the Heretic's tracks that I almost failed to notice they had double back. Almost, mind you. One tried to sneak up behind me and got a knife in the gut for his troubles. I thought myself alone, so I started searching the dead man's knapsack for anything of interest, and lo and behold, before his friends found me, I came upon this. What is it? I can't see it. Oh, there. He's actually holding a letter. Withdraw in groups of 3 or less to the observatorium. Give the signal. Oh, shit. There's an ambush at the observatorium. Be late and be left for dead. Speak for itself, does it not? They can't possibly mean to rendezvous inside the place, so we should restrict our search to surrounding areas. Let me rephrase that. You should restrict your research. Okay. That's not good. They are one step ahead of us, which means this entire area is at risk. Okay, sweet. Let's check in chat a little bit. I asked you guys a question, right, about the stream. Let's see what we got. Lim says, yeah, out of the game shot, one for glamours. Midichlorian says, I vote yes. Yuki says, I second that. Lim says, yes, please. Sure, okay, guys. Well, I mean, that's all I needed. Yeah, as long as, you know, you guys are here, I'm happy to do it, man. You guys are awesome. Tim says, is there any way we can watch the live streams later in case we can't make it? Yes, on my channel, like if you click the link, Jeremy Adrian, you go to my main channel, scroll somewhat to the bottom, you'll see the different playlists that I have, like MMO news, reviews. All the way at the bottom, there'll be this playlist called past live streams, and all my previous live streams will be automatically added to that playlist. What I can do, though, is for future live streams that I do, I'll put all the live streams in a series. Like for this one, Final Fantasy, I'll make a new one, and I'll put it into a playlist, and I'll put it in the description box of all the streams so that you can, you know, bookmark there or bookmark it or something like that. So thanks for bringing that up, Tim. It's something that I hadn't thought about actually. how do people watch an already live finished stream and stuff like that. We got Trevor says, hey, Trevor says, your voice is the ideal broadcasting voice. Wow. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Although I disagree myself. You know, I'm a freelance, I write freelance and stuff. One of the cool things I did this year was I lent my voice to a commercial, which is pretty fun. And somebody tried to talk me into getting to voice acting for narrations and stuff, which is interesting because I would love to do it. I just don't know. Like, I'm not sure if I need practice, I need coaching for that and all that stuff. But yeah, appreciate that. Before I let it get to my head and my head gets big, let's move on. Light says, yes, it's always nice to see new players enjoying the game. And Tim says, I would totally enjoy watching it live and or later on after you play. Awesome, guys. Thanks so much. So yeah, I guess that's settled then. I'll make this a weekly series. And as usual, I'll put it on Twitter and Facebook and on my Discord in the announcement section whenever I'm about to go live. So if anything goes wrong, because previously I'd give everybody a day in advance heads up on if I'm streaming or not the next day. But this past year, I don't have that luxury because sometimes I work around the clock, and at any time now I could get an email saying I need this article or I need something written. So that's why my stream hasn't been that consistent. So I'll try and make it as consistent as possible this time around. Light says, 2K, you have 2,000 guild, or is that 20,000 guild? It's 2K. I am broke because I spent all my money on housing. That's something that I've not even seen yet in Final Fantasy 14. Like, I don't have a house. I don't know what the housing looks like. So that could be something we could check out in the near future. And I kept buying food and potions for raids. See, that's where I'm good because my sister cooks in game, so I've been getting food. I've been getting food for free. So yeah. Lim says, guild definitely has a sink for fashion. Gotcha. I see. And Light says, biggest money sinks is housing and crafting. Raiding essentials are very cheap compared to that. Which I can imagine, like the economy, you know, players must be figuring out that people will need food and all these other buffing stuff that raid needs. So I guess that's pretty handy. Mostly for crafting jobs, they need loads of gil. Yuki says the biggest money sink for me was leveling, gathering, crafting jobs. Right, and I guess I'll stay away from that for the time being. Gather and crafts are investments to get even more money back after a long time. Endgame Omni Crafters used to get multiple millions of gil in a few hours. Damn, it's a lot. And Lord Midichlorian says there's an anime adaptation of it. Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho, you're talking about that. Great. It's one I have my eyes on. Gonna try it. Lim says Yu Yu Hakusho is sick. The anime adaptation is one of my favorite. I've not seen an anime adaptation. The last time I read Yu Yu Hakusho was I was a kid. So I have no idea that there's an anime. I'm gonna have to go watch that now because I do miss, you know, fighting ghosts and soul power and everything. I mean, that's nostalgia, man. It's coming back, so I'm gonna have to go check it out. Light says hardcore raiding progression guilds that go for world first clears very often have sub guilds of crafters. This is gonna be interesting if I ever do decide to get into the end game. So that's on a good to know thing. So thanks so much for that information. I now know what guild sinks requires or what they consist of. Here we go. I'm through with listening to excuses. We leave now. How? The woods are crawling with those bluecoats, and the knights are searching every wagon that passes through the gates. You're trapped. Well, stay with her then, if you think you'll fare any better. Oh. Pincer move. Wait a minute, I know this, damn it, I just saw her, she was in the story, I think 2.3, when, this person came to our shores with some refugees from, the main Garlean Empire land, and, it's good to see her, it's been a while. was easy. Fancy meeting you here. I presume your work with the Third brought you hither. Yes, sir. What a tangled web. Lest you wonder, we came back not for the heretics, but for the merchant who has been conspiring with them. It came to our attention during the course of our investigation into the Ivy. It beggars belief, I know, but it seems our favorite Garlean spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Our favorite Garlean spy? Were it not for the efforts of Lady Yugiri, that's her name, yep, and her shinobi, we might have never discovered the connection. Master Alphanon is too kind. I fear my people, and I have done little to aid your search for the spy. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land to prevent the tragedy which befell Doma from recurring. Oh, what was Doma? Yeah, it's coming back to me, because I went through her part of the story maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. I will accompany you until the investigation is complete. Sure, cool. At least we get another companion here. And her fighting style is pretty cool too, because she was like a rogue assassin kind of thing. Alright, let's go wait inside then. That Shiva fight must be pretty close. I'm just debating with myself if I should do it tonight. It's almost 2 a.m. here. I'm so gonna regret this tomorrow morning. If I do decide to stay up for the trial. We'll see. Okay, checking chat. Tim says, oh, good. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. And Light says, crafted gear is almost as good as endgame rate rewards. That's what I've heard, and that's why I've been told to like browse the auction house if you really need stuff, and that can last you a long time too, because until you get to like the current endgame or whatever, there's no reason for that. Captain Aelbert seemed confident that the merchant's resolve would swiftly crumble when passed. If so, we should have new information ere long. As to whether it will bring us any closer to learning the Ivy's identity, I would rather not say. Given our adversary's cunning, I shall consider us fortunate if we are spared another wild dodo chase. The gods know we have more than enough to occupy our time as it is. Okay, so that's done. Now, Tendrils of Intrigue is left. I'm gonna cheat here real quick. I have this website where I can look at the sequential quests that I can expect to see, and I forgot the name of the website. I just need to know if this is the quest or not. Tendrils of Intrigue. I'm lost. How many quests are there? No, I'm about 5-6 quests away, so I'm quite far from the next trial. And just for reference sake, I'm on patch 2.4, so I've got 2 more patches worth of content to go through before I hit the expansion. So that could be something, you know, we could look forward to. So I guess with that, you guys, I know it sucks to hear, especially for you guys in the States or you guys in EU, but I need to call it a night, unfortunately, and head to bed. So, yeah, it's official then. I'll make this a weekly series where we'll just catch up on Final Fantasy and make our way towards the Shadowbringers expansion that's going to happen in June. So, yeah, I hate to disappoint you guys, but I'm going to call it a night, and we'll do this again real soon, I promise. So with that, everybody in chat, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. This was fun. Coming back after a long time of not streaming and, you know, being able to talk to you guys about various different things. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I really appreciate it. Everyone from Light and Lim and my sister, of course. Who else we got? Lord Midichlorian and Graspy and everybody else that jumped into the stream. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And for those of you that also don't talk in chat, you guys just lurk and watch. I appreciate you too. You guys don't have to say anything. Just know that I'm thankful that you guys watch the content, and there's something there for you guys, whether it's entertaining or if it's educational, whatever. You know, thank you so much. So do hit the like button for more, and feel free to subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. and you'll get notified on all my latest updates. And I've heard complaints that, hey man, whenever a new video of yours come out, I don't get a notification. Apparently that's becoming more of a thing. There's a bell button right beside the subscribe button that you got to click in order to get notifications. Now, I was initially worried about saying that all the time, click that bell, because I don't know if that's going to spam you with email every time a new video comes out, or if you have the app, every time you're going to get a buzz. And I don't like being that intrusive. I know it sounds weird, but I myself get annoyed with emails from YouTube about every new video that someone puts up. So that's your call or not, but that's there if you guys want to support the channel. I do appreciate it. So that's it from me, guys. I'm going to bed. Let me just wrap it up here. Lord Mealcurrent says, have fun, dreams. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for being here in the stream. I really appreciate it. Graspy says, peace out, peeps. See you, Graspy. Thanks for hanging out. Tim says, sleep well. I definitely will. Although I actually have to work a little bit before I sleep because there's something I need to do real quick. Yuki says, have fun. Thank you, Yuki. And Yuki, this is your first stream, right? You first time watching me do some Final Fantasy stuff. Thank you very much. Welcome to the channel, and I look forward to all the other Final Fantasy stuff I'll see you on. Same goes to Light21. You guys have been giving a lot of Final Fantasy 14 information in chat, and I do appreciate that. I'm sure if there's any other new players to Final Fantasy, they appreciate that too. So thanks very much for being here. Tim says, thank you for doing this. No problem, man. No problem at all. And Lim says, it's cool. Good night. All right, that's it. You guys have fun. Have a good week ahead, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Once again, Jeremy Adrian here, thanking you for watching, guys. Later, all.